made angry videos and the community frowned and said, we hereby observe you, Rich the Drag down.
In a conflict, other times are broken in this crazy place we call our home. Ever since the day that I was born, I've been alone. Now with you, the tears are all dried up. You're all in my dreams, I wanna go. It's where I'm home. I met you at the wrong time, secrets for a lifetime. Just promise me you'll keep it close. Lay alone like everything's alright. We'll be just fine. Now with you, there's no point in trying, 'cause all that we need's in front of us. I haven't made of our love. Bonds that we made on that day surpass even familiar ways. Connected our hearts, together they'll stay. Grab on my hand, yeah, come on, let's go. What should we eat when we're finally home? Here I'll tell you about my day. These are the things I wanna say. I wanna be with you the rest of my days. It's always a comedy when we play. Dancing around on this creaking bed. We'll laugh along until the cheeks are red. A life like this will just play along. 羽ばたいたら戻らないと言って目指したのは青い青いあの空悲しみはまだ覚えられず切なさは今掴み始めたあなたへ飛びだこの感情も今言葉に変わってく未知なる世界の夢から目覚めてこの羽を広げ飛び立つ羽ばたいたら戻らないと言って目指したのは白い白いあの雲突き抜けたら見つかるとして振り切るほど青い青いあの空青い青いあの空青い青いあの空愛想をつけたような音で錆びれた古い窓は壊れた見飽きた家具はほら捨ててゆく振り返ることはもうない高鳴る鼓動に呼吸を預けてこの窓を蹴って飛び立つ駆け出したら手にできると言って誘うのは to tell you please take care of yourself. Then with tear-stained eyes I sadly said goodbye as I waved and wished you farewell. Then I think of how much longer I must wait. I look inside myself and feel something new. I wanna stop and grow up a bit. It's all because I'm feeling sad and then I cry. I don't know why. The courage that I need, the power to succeed, gives me the strength to fly. It's all because of when I see my friends, oh my. Every
I rock back and forth on the X and Y axis.
pushing me on, lighting the fire in me. Then suddenly, my calm and confidence start swelling up, magically erupt. And it's all because of kindness that I feel from people I don't even know. I won't forget the times we shared and our pleasant days, always. And I'll never lose the strength to succeed and the courage to do what I must. Your smile makes my heart explode.
You don't want Mark Month. Your points were giving willingly. We were there for cupcakes. Obey or be timed.
Indeedy-dee-dee-do. Obey or be timed.
Horrible timing to come back up. I was all out of frame and everything.
That has nothing to do with me. you
Well,
heard the intro.
Did I say horrible timing for you? I said it was horrible timing. I could have been speaking for me. I could have been speaking for
Yeah, whatever.
chat.
10 out of 10 thumbnail for because reasons.
Thank you for all them bums in the Discord with their basic bullshit. All the fast food has been done. It would have just been another in the pile. Eric said that he liked the bus better. And
Sebastian says,
decries the
thoughts on the brand new JJK shit?
spoilers, obviously.
Oh, Jesus. It's picking up the microphone from the camera instead of the Yeti. That's what it is. Audio should be better now.
Oh.
Yeah. Yeah, it was probably yeah. See if this sounds better now, because again, it just picked up the microphone. In fact,
Cameras are an issue, always and forever. It seems. Why is it connected to my Bluetooth? Help! Help!
Yep. Okay. Yeah. It was just picking up from the camera. I need to disable that. Again, it's okay now. It was just the camera.
I can't trust them.
Yeah, that's fair. Especially with the thumbnail of the bus thing. Oh, you were saying Eric liked the
bus, and he decried the fast food thing
because
for the same reasons as us.
Yeah, it's everybody knows it, and it's not even true. Like if it was true, I might want to do it, but other than that, it's just like no. Hey, a bunch of the new emotes.
I wonder why the camera or mic is so bad. Is it really?
It might be all the non-filters on it and such. Who knows? It might just be turned up too loud, and I don't know. DA and BG forcing Deku to the back of the bus. We're a few months out from that. What do you think of Quiet Quitting? Do it. Who gives a sh? Yo, I know I don't belong here, but here's some money.
Come back tomorrow.
Thank you, guy with 2 names for the super chat.
To talk
There's
about
so much feel stuff going on, y'all. It's so crazy.
So much.
I originally was gonna set it at 2 p.m. and give us 3 hours for and give us like an hour rest between the podcast and that. And then I went, I don't know if we can do it in 3 hours.
So much.
There's so much. I had to set it back to 1. Thoughts on the latest One Piece chapter? They're good chapters. Glad we're out of Egghead.
Yep. Off to more stuff. I'm wondering what's going on with Lilith, because she's just on the ship.
Yeah, is she a crewmate now? Or is she just gonna relocate to Elbath? Y'all have a good stream. Thank you, guy with 2 names. See you tomorrow or next time you're in chat, because who knows. When is the My Hero Because Reasons? I already answered it in the chat, but it's probably not even till summer of next year because we got to do the Harry Potter one first.
I mean, here it is. Shut up.
And it's been a long time. We've got to do that Naruto one first.
I also would like to read Vigilantes, and you need to watch the movies.
Yep. So summer of next year at the earliest.
Maybe we'll talk about it. We will always talk about it. Maybe it won't be. Maybe it will be. There's always pending more My Hero information.
Yeah.
And
they have the new movie coming up.
Hey, here comes the big announcement, y'all. Popularity poll. JJK, oh, here comes the big announcement, y'all. It's all free on Viz, and here's a wallpaper or whatever.
Nami the Goat says, Mark's Naruto videos are waiting.
That's fine. And they will continue to be there unless Studio Peril gets a little froggy and takes them out.
I can't wait for ALX to review and say good things about my favorite franchise. Hello, we're back at My Hero Academia. I never even read the Final War arc. I stopped reading at the trailer reveal. I hope it's good. Creative new username. Didn't you watch the new My Hero Academia Revisited? I watched them and ignored the parts where they didn't like it. Back at Ribbon and My Hero Academia. I was expecting to watch a video about anime or Mark Month, but I guess okay, My Hero Academia.
Nope, this is it.
Mark Month is not happening.
Nope.
Dude, why is it getting hot again?
Because that's what it is. What it is.
Before you two start getting annoyed, what are some of your favorite transformations in anime and manga? Are we talking
really
the process, the process of the transformation, or what the transformation looks like after? Because I really like
the power set.
I really like
the power set of year 5 is really good. But
I really like the process of Gon's transformation in the anime, but I just don't like anything surrounding it. So,
basically, Gear 5.
Yeah. Why? Oh yeah, I already said. Just let me know the commands and I'll re-add them. It's been a long time. Dwight Ray's leave. Jujutsu Kaisen is slowly reaching into that level of terrible endings next to My Hero Academia.
4 chapters.
Yep, it was just a bunch of Mike stuff. And we're coming right up on time. So, this is Because Reasons, where we just talk about everything pertaining to a subject. And the subject on this one is the final arc of My Hero Academia, the war arc. And rereading this, I was
open up the Q&A.
Oh yeah.
So how we're doing this, we're going to talk about our thoughts, whatever ramblings we're going to get. We're going to ignore y'all for the most part.
I'm also going to turn off
Dutch
the
says,
TTS.
Did you hear Nobara is alive?
Yeah, boy. Probably shouldn't have just, that, what with spoilers and everything. But everybody knows already, boy was major trending. But somebody could have avoided it. But yeah, it's crazy. It was stupid. Don't just be like, hey, yo, she's dead. And then I lied. But we're going to ramble. Talk your talk. If you got anything pertinent to say about My Hero, put it in the Q&A. We're gonna ramble until we done rambling. Then we're gonna talk about the Q&A, and then I've got notes of stuff that we may or may not have talked about, where I went down and we just went bam, 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 bam. So that's the structure.
So when we're talking about the things we're talking about, we're gonna be reading the chat. We're gonna respond to those things. But if there's something particularly you would like us to touch upon, until we hit that Q&A section, we're not going to. So
good job, Peanut. Can you give me it's cool, Dutch. Shout, gamble. Type faster, cuck.
Yeah, you got kind of cooked there. Actually, Peanut, if you want to link to your podcast, I can just pin it. That is indeed Peanut in the chat. Don't say it like it's an announcement.
Well, can you both pin and do the Q&A?
Yeah, I should be able to. Let's just pin a message right now. Yeah.
Crazy. Yep, so just throw that in the Q&A thing. Doesn't necessarily have to be a question, just something that you want to talk about. Hey, how'd you feel about this? If we don't get to it, and we'll elaborate on that. Just a way to just keep people here and talking, because otherwise we just ignore you until it's time to start talking.
All right. What were we doing first?
I don't know.
are we just doing a step by step until we get into our gripes and such, or
it's normally just rambling,
Right.
no non-coherent rambling.
Then
until
we'll do that.
We find a point that we want to stick on to, and then we'll run
We'll
out of
start
that,
with that.
Q&A, and then I have my list of things. That
Oh,
we
I
want
also
now.
have a list.
Oh, look at that!
My list is probably going to be smaller than yours, but I do have a list. Do not fret.
Excellent.
So
Where do we begin with this?
I'm gonna begin at the beginning. When I first got back into reading this for this, I was like, hey, I was a little worried because I wasn't hating what was going on. I just kind of didn't feel anything
It was just
for it.
pure what. Where did you start?
I started at Aoyama calling All for One.
Okay, I started at all the way back in like the bath scene, essentially after villain arc.
Okay, yeah, you were
So
way
I got
further back.
Stars and Stripes, I got the Trader, and I've got the
Yeah, no, I just went straight the war, not the saga, just the final war. But even then, the plan, the way it was laid out, the way it was executed, the problems of it, of Toga grabbing Deku, all that stuff, up until like midway to the Todoroki fight, I was just like, hey, this is just a lot of stuff going on, and it's okay. Like, I didn't love it, I didn't hate it. It was just fine.
Opposite.
But dude,
opposite.
the second we started really getting into that Todoroki fight,
yeah,
I couldn't anymore.
that's a big problem. And the Toga and Uraka stuff is generally good.
And dude, that's part of my list. So I'm just gonna bring that part up now.
All the single furries, all
But while you're bringing that up,
all the single
it
furries,
combos directly into All Might, which is some of the, I can't even say the worst stuff in any other manga. This is like, oh, this is bottom tier negative, but there's like 6 other bad things, worse things in this.
So what are we doing? Just laugh at Deskman Deku? It's all of it.
Everything we want to talk about.
What we talk about Toga. So with the Toga thing, and this is part of my list, I broke it down into some gripes, some things that were underexplored or too little too late, and then it was like one other thing. So this was the underexplored / too little too late. The Toga stuff in a vacuum is amazing stuff.
Yes.
But the series surrounding it does not allow for that conversation to really be had in this instance. So, for example, it would have been great if we got... So the whole thing is, of course, society causing these villains to become villains. And it would have been great if we would have got some time to really explore that... theme. If we really got a chance to explore that with either Uraka talking about it later on, because all she is hey, she's leading the charge of the quirk, blah blah blah. But if Uraka was like, the people around were like, hey, the issue isn't their powers. The issue is how we perceive their power, which also leads into the thing metamorph, because Toga's ability could be. Sorry, thank you for the super chat, Silver Heart Soul. Toga's ability could be amazing as a nurse, where they're running out of blood, and she could just give people blood. There's diseases where she could probably help with diseases, help with like blood diseases, and there's so many things that could be done well with her if the switch was just flipped, and that conversation is just not had in this series
because it's broken. Because they go, we got this amount of twice as blood. You go, okay, that's all the blood that she has. But then she transforms into Uraka, and she has her blood to put it in her. And it works. So why doesn't she just bleed it twice and have infinite blood? And going back to the medical thing that you talk about, have infinite twice blood, transform into twice, twice transform into somebody, kill that person, cut up their brain, explore whatever you need to explore, see exactly what's going on. There's so many things that could happen there. And the whole thing with Uraraka is she doesn't know what the issue is with the quirk rehabilitation system.
Yes.
All she has is Toga and what she went through, and she doesn't even fully understand what she went through. So it's all just, I'm gonna fix a system I don't really understand.
And maybe he gained a greater appreciation
Absolutely.
or learned about it after the fact. But again, the series is not equipped to handle that long-term storytelling of, hey, here's what Uraraka did to blah, blah, blah. It's just, Uraraka did it. And so much of it is, hey, this just happened. Hey, these characters
There's
just
so
did it.
much of just, this just happened.
It just happened. And I hope you're okay with that.
Yeah,
That's
you
what-
have to be.
That's what it's gonna be.
Yes, I have a blood expulsion quirk. No, that's what I do.
What the dude?
Why wouldn't I? This is obviously a thing.
I was saving it for this
My
particular
blood is
reason.
now refreshed, and therefore you don't have that blood, sir. What's the issue here? Of course I have this. Moving on.
Moving on.
This mom just straight up, and this is Horikoshi so many times. He's like, no, I've thought about this. I know you're going, hey, in Ed's shot, he's all bloody and dirty. Well, how is he gonna suture his heart? He's got a bubble, and that's gonna clean it. I've already thought 3 steps ahead of this. And with that, he was just like, I've already thought you're 3 steps ahead of this. You were the only mob that didn't go rebel with me, so I knew you were gonna betray me. So I set up this blood expulsion quirk. I didn't go and kill you. I didn't put a hit out on you. I didn't go grab you and get your quirk that I'd steal and then use not 3 panels later.
And it's
I
a
didn't do anything.
fantastic
I
quirk.
left you to your devices for months, knowing that you would betray me and waiting for that moment just so I could be like, I got you. What?
And it's not even like, because even with that idea, you could go, hey, All For One did not want the League of Villains to know that Stain was killed and potentially killed by him. But they don't even know where Stain is.
Nobody mentions Stain.
Nobody knows where he is.
Nobody's
so if he's
going, let's get him into our fray.
If he's dead in a gutter somewhere, nobody knows. So who cares? Kill him and take
If
him.
he's beheaded on the street, All For One just have to be like, I ain't do nothing. They ain't got nothing
The
to do with me.
heroes. He can even blame it on the heroes.
But stuff, there's so much stuff of just like, yes, here it is, and you must now accept this because we're moving on.
Oh yeah, we're done.
This has happened. And that was what it was, where I'm just like, are you kidding me? There's so many other things
Because
that you could
that's
have
so
done.
washed over me, that blood expulsion.
How?
No, when it first happened.
How?
Because there's so much going on that I'm still in the aftermath of, why is Stain here? Why is he using all of his students' quirks? Blah 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 blah.
This was in the throes of just like, there's so much going on.
What am I supposed to do here?
Where is my Stain quote? Because I counted. Stain was in the final fight when he appeared in front of All Might for 11 pages. Did nothing but calm All For One down. Got his quirk stolen. Died. Made things worse for All Might, his hero, and was forgotten. It was so worthless, and that's somebody's favorite villain. He did nothing but made things worse.
He did actively nothing.
Actively.
He did worse than nothing because nothing would have been better.
Yes.
He was a
Made
hindrance.
things worse.
And this is supposed. And this, when he dies, what are we supposed to feel?
Yeah.
What are we supposed to feel sorry for Stain that he hurt his hero All Might by?
Yeah.
What are we supposed to feel for this man?
Because he goes to die and he holds his hand up just like,
like my all, and then he can't die.
What the is this? It's like, what are we supposed to feel about him just getting exploded? It's like, oh dang, rip. And he's never brought up again.
No, why would he?
His quirk was brought up 2 more times.
Yeah, because it's
But him,
useful.
he was killed. He got to the battlefield, was killed, and was forgotten.
At what point should... So, he's not brought up after the battle. He's not brought up before the battle. If so many of the League of Villains thing is him. How is nobody? I forgot to turn those off. How is nobody doing anything?
Yeah, there's nobody that cares. Spinner modeled his whole character around him, his whole outfit and everything. When it's go time, all he's got to do is say, "Hey, yo, but Shigaraki though, he was my friend." Not
he played League of Legends.
I can't believe I followed somebody that killed my hero. I can't believe I followed somebody that killed my best friend. No, it's all about the media's perception about what Shigaraki was, which they're doing all this propaganda stuff. It was like, he destroyed my house. It's like, yes, you can't get away from that.
Yeah.
He did those things. He wanted to touch the earth and just completely raise it. I don't know how like Spinner fits into that. Because what is he just going to be like, yeah, I've got my little island here that
I would assume he raises the entire world. And so everything resets to zero so they could build a society that is more free.
So how does he confirm that his friends are not caught up in that decay?
What, sir?
Because he cares about those people.
Mm-hmm.
His whole goal is destruction. He goes, I'm gonna touch the ground. This all is just gonna be gone in 3 days. So what?
Give me a week, I'll raise the entire world.
What's the infrastructure here? What's the end goal other than just smash? That's why I don't really like Shigaraki as a character. There's no, like, outside of I'm gonna smash everything, you got your whole themes and him, the hero, and parallels to Deku and stuff like that. But at the end of the day, he says, I want to touch the ground and people.
Yeah. He truly just wants destruction. And they even note it in the series where he's a poor catalyst, or not a catalyst, but a body for All For One, because while All For One wants to rule, at least the people will be alive. Shigaraki just wants to destroy everything. He just got
all this hate such that it's influencing All For One. It's just like, yeah, we're linked and I'm getting all this mob's hate and stuff, and it's just crazy. That's all it is. And he's just, and I just don't really care as he's sprouting his million hands, which is just like,
dude, the hands. Oh my god. So it's not a quirk.
No, it is 100% not a quirk.
In fact, you know what? I saw your list. You have an actual list. Mine are just like minor things. So I'm gonna go through some of mine. And that's literally the very first one is the Shigaraki thing.
The explanation given was this is his body adapting to the quirks.
Yep. So
this is the quirk singularity that Garaki said.
Yep. And what I said was, would have liked an explanation of Shigaraki's growth, like his regeneration was halting the growth to keep his form as is, and when it was suppressed, it went wild. We don't get that. We just get, hey, I'm suppressed, and then like 3 pages later, my body's growing out of control because it's trying to adapt to the quirk. And it's so... And I have no problem with conveniences, but it's really convenient that it happens at this particular moment during this particular battle.
Because otherwise, he would have just been a really strong guy and they could have just murked him.
Or he would have grown out of control a week ago and his body maybe had been perfected at that point. Who knows?
But it was, all the hands are, a quirk will evolve, so the body must adapt to it, giving birth to a new form.
But if the quirks are suppressed, why would the body need to grow if...
What is being adapted here? It's not like he is a really hot guy like Dabi and his body is adapting. We need to thermally cool ourselves, so we need a ice quirk. Oh, we've got that dormant DNA, whatever. We can regulate the temperature now. What is adapting? He is adapting more to his goal of destruction by having so many hands, because if those fingers, any of those fingers touch the ground, that's just more destruction. That's not adaptation. That's more of a quirk evolution.
Yep.
And that's not what this is going for here.
Not at all. And it's so telling of what My Hero Academia is as a whole, where there are a lot of great things within it, but it's not what you're going for. And if it is what you're going for, you're doing a poor job of it. Horikoshi is he's a horrible writer, or he was just tired of this and he wanted out.
It's very hard to say, because like I said, you can feel that the Toga and Uraraka stuff was planned.
Yes.
You can feel
For
that
who knows how, maybe even from the very beginning.
the resolution of Dabi and Todoroki feels planned.
Yes.
These things they feel planned. It's just the execution. It's just, because there is no...
To be the most fair, I don't know if the Todoroki execution was poor, or I dislike it so much that it's kind of clouding my judgment of whether this was good stuff or not. Now, the family coming, that's filth.
Yeah, no, exactly. He had a plan of get all the family in one place to aid in the resurrection of Toya. And that's how we're gonna do this. How do we get here? Well, there's just these robots that are fast.
And again, like we said earlier, it's a lot of
Except this. Look, the family needs to get to this place, alright?
Why do you care how they got here?
Exactly. They could ice slide their way here. Why didn't they? I don't know, but they had to be these robots that follow all the commands of humans.
Unchecked commands! Who cares?
They're just sitting there. There is no head person that's going, hey, shut down, shut down. They get there fast enough. They don't melt getting there. They know the coordinates. They're willing. There's so many things to get these muffs here. And when they rock up, they're all strong enough to survive this nuclear blast of this
supernova.
He is a couple of mile bomb person. Where is this?
To the point where he was like, I can't stop this. I just gotta fly into the air and hope it's enough time, me flying into the air till we both blow up and nobody else gets hurt.
His brother and his sister, Todoroki's brother and sister. I've got their Wikipedia articles about their abilities, their ice abilities. Fuyumi is an inexperienced woman who does not have any particular combat experience or fighting style techniques, unlike her brother, Dabi and Shorto, or her father, Endeavor. However, she does have some proficient control of her quirk, as she's able to code herself to reach Rei, Endeavor, and Dabi in the midst of the blazing inferno. She has exactly one use of her quirk, and that's at the end. Now, you remember her? Everything I just read, you remember that?
Nope, but okay.
Natsuo is an inexperienced young man who doesn't have any particular combat experience or fighting style techniques, unlike his brother Dabi or Shoto or his father Endeavor. However, he is proficient enough control in his quirk to be able to code himself in order to reach Rei, Endeavor, and Dabi, and in the midst of their ladder blazing inferno. It is the exact same abilities, copied and paste.
They
replace
the
woman
pronoun.
They have, and I'm not a power scaler outside of my power scaling insanity, but they have no feats. They are not trained.
No. But they're here.
But they are here.
And they're good enough.
And this is another one of Horikoshi's. Yes, here it is.
Yep.
The chapter where they all rock up starts with this ice mother in jail. This is like, yes, the ice blood is super strong, y'all.
Who are you?
It runs cold in a mother, don't you know? And he had to set that up to be like, this is why they survive. Because this cold bloodline, which is diluted because it goes through endeavors, is so strong that these untrained muffs are able to survive this 3-mile heated, I'm gonna kill myself inferno sun blast with no training, no time to prepare, and they just rock up and do it.
But is it even worth having that person tell another person when Todoroki's whole point is, hey, this can regulate this, so no matter how hot Todoroki gets, he can cool it down with this side. So you would have to assume that if this is 100, this is 0. So I don't need to be told, yeah, we're 0.
It is some of the laziest stuff. And that's Horikoshi again working backwards. I know you're gonna think about, hey, why are they able to work on this if they're not fighters, if they're not trained? Why are they able to survive this with just minor burns at the end?
Yes.
Because the bloodline is so pure that all they need to do is just rock a little bit of ice, and that's all we need, baby. Moving on. I spent 3 pages explaining this month just to be like, okay, do you accept this now? Good, because we're moving on. This month is a hack. He cannot set things up properly.
No.
It's some of the worst things that I've seen in this, and this is pending Fire Force. This is some of the worst. This is the worst final art because it's just like page flip, except this.
Yeah.
Okay, page flip.
We're opening this chapter with something that I'm going to explain that happened in the past that's going to explain what's happening
right now.
And I hope you accept it.
And because you have no choice.
You have zero choice.
It's happening. We're here now.
It's happened. So
moving on.
Actually, did All For One explain how he would get all of Shigaraki's hate with his mind? Oh my god, y'all.
All the single furries, all the single furries, all the single furries, all the single furries.
With his mind switch bush, because I never got his plan. He was gonna override Shigaraki's personality.
Once he gave him his All For One. Once he gave him his All For One quirk, they essentially shared a mind palace like the Vestiges do. Mm-hmm. So then they shared their feelings, and he's just like, I can read his mind, I can read his thoughts, I can read his feelings and all that stuff. That's what it was. And he just wanted to override it and just decay him from the inside out. Or whatever.
Thank you for the super chat. So, it would have been something if Dabi gave it to the other members of the family, and when he saw them, he weakened his fire so as not to hurt them. Thank you for the super chat. Hi. That would have been great, actually. Where it's just like, I've never had a problem with y'all.
Yes,
so I want to turn this down. It's his masterpiece. It's him. And mother, you were complicit, so it's you.
But none of that.
And maybe even the older brother, because he was probably around during the same time period. But the baby, no. Thank you for re-up to the bums, Alfonso. Yeah, so that's Todoroki.
What do you outside?
So this is all of mine. Okay. So that's it. It's not. It's real short.
Okay, you can go ahead and do yours.
Oh no, he just keeps getting hotter. And it comes to a point where it's like. His heat is to a level that I can't hope to match. And I understand that with each generation, quirks get stronger. But you assume Todoroki can do the exact same thing and offset it the exact same way. Mm-hmm. But he just can't.
Yeah.
They do it all with this whole Dabi has been training his heat. But now this inexperienced ice his body can just adapt to it. Thanks to the latent ice quirks as opposed to Todoroki, who's been training with this.
You have been training your ice powers for essentially all of your life because you didn't want to use the fire half of you. So you've got all of these years of pure ice stuff. You just now started to use the fire. That's fine, but you are an ice proficient person. Me you've trained this phosphorus bullshit, combining hot ice and cold fire, whatever.
And I'm just gonna say you did it anyway. So what's the point?
I'm gonna write down hot ice and cold fire, and you're gonna accept this. I'm mixing it in my heart is the core and the regulator, and you're going to accept this, and we're going to move on because you've accepted this. Now that you've accepted this is his ultimate technique of hot fire. Okay, got it? And now Dabi can use it. Okay, got it? Wait a second. Excuse me, Horikoshi? Yeah, he's got ice power. It was always inside of him. And you see, thematically, Endeavor was also double, triple, quadruple wrong because he was beating him because he couldn't do what he wanted to because he didn't have the ice stuff, but he always had the ice stuff. But so Endeavor was always wrong. What does he get as recompense? Oh, nothing. He just loses his arm and quits heroing, which is what he was gonna do anyway. So there is no negative effects to Endeavor other than things that he exactly wanted because he wanted to quit and he wanted to atone for the rest of his life. So there's nothing for beating this kid for not doing the thing which he always could do. Now, going back to the phosphorus stuff, he trained for all this time.
Batman.
Whatever. I've been training this. Okay, whatever. We're going to accept that you've been training this for the sake of this argument right here and now. We're going to accept that you've trained in this phosphorus boys. We're going to accept that you mastered it. We're accepting that you can bust it out right here and now. Cool, got it. You've been training all this time with your ice stuff. You've got your fire stuff under control, mixing together, whatever. I've got problems with that later, but we're going to talk about that later. You do that, bam. He sees it once and then just goes,
me too.
I'm not only just unlocked my ice quirk, but I'm going to perfectly copy this. Got it? Okay, because we're moving on.
I hope you accept it.
Okay.
Because there is no choice.
Turn the page with more stuff coming. Because it's coming. And it don't stop coming.
So these are all just
Dude!
these are all things I just wrote down as I was reading. Oh my god, no. Edshot gets a quick flashback with Best Jeanist. Why should we care?
Jesus Krishna.
Why should we
having
care?
a laugh?
Why should we care even the slightest? Isn't that right, head? Who are you? Who is Edshot?
This? It's because you now care more about this.
I don't!
And having a 0.1% more caring with essentially the same amount of screen time is more than zero. You now know that Best Jeanist, who you like, because you know you like Best Jeanist. They were friends. So then this is his friend, and he for some reason
from a fan.
he for some reason knows, hey, if you become this boy's heart, you're not coming back. Best Jeanist says. How do you know that, Best Jeanist?
Have you ever done anything like this?
What happened before?
And then he comes back. So you were wrong.
You cuck, Best Jeanist. You were wrong. You suck. But that's what this was, because they did and I noted this in my notes. They did the exact same thing with Tokoyami. I never noticed it when I was reading it weekly, but he has a single panel of him and Dark Shadow just in bed.
Yep.
And I'm just like, was this always here, or was this a volume thing? So this is all this is, because he just goes, don't you speak about the darkness. I was born in it, molded, but shut the up. And then it just cuts it out. I'm like, what am I supposed to infer from this? What is the information that you, Horikoshi, are providing me by showing me this panel? What is the information that you are conveying to me? How am I supposed to feel about this? Don't have it. Have him do the big shadow punch, and that's it.
Yeah, because it makes sense. We already know that the darker the shadow, he's
just have him do that.
The whole encapsulate me in Earth because it's gonna be the dark. Fine, that's all I need.
The big shadow makes a no notes.
No notes.
It was dark. The clouds were overcast. He was like burying me. He was festering in it. He came out big punch. Got it. 0 notes. But all that's around it.
And it's always around it.
And that's what it always is.
This is when Deku was trying to get there. Deku whipping reminds me of Amazing Spider-Man.
Spider-Man, boy.
It was the exact same. We're with you, boy, and we're gonna line up so you can whip faster. How would they know? How would they know that's what he wants?
How does he know? How do they know that he can use Black Whip? Have they ever seen him?
He's literally flying, and they're going, hey, you can get there faster if we line up so you can Black Whip? How would they know that? I'm just now thinking about this. What happened?
Jet play be faster than just hop in or just stand
or Black Whip and I'll take you.
How fast was he flying if Black Whip is faster, just Spider-Man and Black Whip? Because if let's say there's 4 jets, he's Spider-Man, zoom, 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 and he goes faster for a little bit, but speed is going to take him down. So do they get in front of him and they do it again? Because if that happens, that means that they are faster than him, and in which case, just hang on and we will go. Conserve your energy, maybe? This kind of stupid. But I do have a note about that.
I'm sorry, we're not caught up in Jujutsu Kaisen, so we're probably not gonna react to that final chapter.
Yeah, unfortunately not.
Yeah, we're just not.
And there's no time to get. Well, there is time, but there's no care.
There's not enough care for time. They're really trying with this racism crap. Hold on. Now, this is what I was saying before with the whole, we can have the discussion if this was a better manga, because there are some good ideas.
100%.
So, what I wrote next was, this shoji stuff would have been great if it was introduced before the second is needed.
Yes.
So, there's a flashback where he's sitting around telling the kids, hey, in my past,
God forbid we see these kids talking in real time.
It would have been great if like before the Dark Deku arc, some other time, they were all just, even during the Dark Deku time, they were all just sitting around just like, what are we doing? And he told this story, and then we go, oh, maybe there's some systemic bullshit, that maybe there's some hateful people out there.
Maybe there's some conversations that we need to have about these.
So then we could also go, oh, because our entire viewpoint is the city, we don't get to see none of that racism. So all of it starts to make sense when it's like, there's this big conglomerate of mutants running around and just like
rock up.
And it's not even like they're running around. It's like, hey, we're gonna start a revolution on this day. If you've been hurt, if you've been hated just for the way you look, come to this place. Let's do this.
And there's so many.
And there's like 15,000.
When they say quite plainly, it happens so much in the smaller villages and out in the towns, it don't happen. So there's so many people that have been discriminated against.
That it's time to rise up.
That there's enough to have that many people, and there's nothing being done about this for all of this time. It makes literally 0 sense. And there's no supporters. There's no mutants on our side just going, hey guys, I dig it, outside of the anima and stuff like that. There is no like rank and file police. Oh dang, this is what's going on. Hey brothers, let's not do this. There are the people that we know. There's nothing
even
right about this whole.
Even the dog detective, if the other detectives kind of like skirted around him, if we just saw some stuff before this moment, I would forgive this moment with my entire heart, because it would be a lead up to this. But instead, it is here, is happening, accept it.
So I got a list of characters. Give me one of them and I'll talk about them. We got Anima, we got Shoji, we've got the tarantula in Centipede Man, we've got Spinner, we got Pigman. Give me one of them.
Pigman's gonna be last, unfortunately. So we're gonna start with Coda, because I feel like that's gonna be the lightest.
Literally no reason why he should be there.
No.
He has no connection to Shoji. I mean, he had no connection to Shoji. Nothing with Spinner. There's been no mutant racism or anything like that.
Because he's never seen it. And then even when they're like, hey, we know you're doing that hospital plan, we want to be there. Why should you want to be there, Coda? What do you have to do with this?
Yeah. Your father was discriminated against. Oh, I guess because they quite clearly say it doesn't happen in cities, but his father was discriminated against. So we have to assume that they were outside of the city or something. It was his mother and his father defending him. So he had that, and it's. Dude, no! The worst thing about that. Oh crap! Where do I go from there? Oh crap! Oh, where do I go from here? The worst thing, okay, the very ending. They have to make it seem like this is important, and that's another one of Horikoshi's failing. No, this is super important. Because his mama said, once you find somebody to protect them. Oh, thanks, mama, I'm gonna do that.
And then your horns are gonna grow, and you're gonna get the awesome bird.
And the mutants thing, it doesn't even really make a whole lot of sense, because the mutation quirk is just like, okay, your mutation affects how you look. Mm-hmm. So he just ugly, and outside of just being ugly, he can just talk to birds. Yeah. It's like with mutation, how he looks have nothing to do with this, and that doesn't really happen a whole lot in My Hero. It's just like, dude, this isn't, if you got
Frumpy is a frog person. It makes sense you would look like a frog.
So
you don't look like an animal. You're just some ugly dude.
So this dumb centipede bastard is just hawking, just like, you're wrong, mutants. Get wrecked, because the mutants are a coming. I don't know what he's there for. This is the first time that we're seeing this. We don't know if he's been promised anything.
I was wondering if that was a character.
Never.
Because it's just like, I'm here too with Spinner, our savior.
I'm the mouthpiece for the mutants. Listen to me, brothers. Who are you? What are you here for? Because you clearly don't believe in the revolution. So what is your goal? We've never seen anybody.
Spinner and that kid is making it hard to subjugate these people. For what end? What is your final
He doesn't
goal?
care about mutants being the top race. He doesn't care about oppression. He said things just like, oh, whatever, and use your anger. Just smash stuff. He doesn't care. We don't know if he was promised a better life in terms of, hey, get Kirigiri. We know nothing about this dude, but this dude is hawking about 2 different genocides. Like, we're supposed to care.
Never forget 6'6", my brothers.
Hey, maybe we should have known about this beforehand. Stop it with the pig emotes. But maybe we should have known about this to care. Oh, dang, there was. Have Shoji do a book report. Have them sit down and just go, why do you want to be a hero? It'll be 2 chapters. Every single person. Why do you want to be a hero? What does being a hero mean to you? What is your end goal? And that tells you so much about what these people want. Fame, money, women, power, whatever. I just want to make a better life. I just want to save people. I want to show that frogs are awesome. What the ever? But you learn so much about everything. And all that dumb tentacle bastard had to do is rock up and just go, hey, yo, there was 2 different genocides. Mutant oppression is still going out there today. I want to stop that stuff. Got it. Established. Now I understand this character. You do that for all 2021 people. You do that in 2 chapters. That tells you everything you need to know about each and every one of these characters in as little time as possible. Because we don't know why these mobs want to be a hero. Nope. Mineta. Why does he want to be a hero?
Some volume where aftermath of just he wants to be a hero because that's not good enough.
Angel
Sorry.
Essence Goku, Dragon Instinct Goku, Spirit Saiyan
Thank
Goku,
you for the
Primal
breather.
Instinct Goku.
Heart rate 140. Get calm. Bring it down a little bit. Let's bring the room down a little bit.
Not original one that is clearly a mouthpiece for the racist people, non-animal people that help with the riot or something. Wait, will Hawks count as one? What about Miracle? Or are they not animal enough? The riot needed more. Thank you for the super
mutation. Miracle is a mutant, and therefore she should have been up in there. Now, going back to Anima, his ultimate technique is just hawking a couple birds at this.
Hey, here's a lot of birds.
Hitchcock birds, and dude just goes, ah, and that's it. Like he doesn't have any kind of quirk that can deal with a dozen birds. I could do that with a bag of rice on a Sunday. Get them muffs out of here. They explode. Don't do that. Rice is bad. Weddings and whatnot.
Yeah.
But luckily this mouthpiece. So we have to assume. Let's just go all for one with you will be the mouthpiece because I am, for some reason, making Spinner, the people that they are looking up to, very stupid. All right?
Stupid and big.
I'm gonna do that. For some reason, baby. So you, Centipede Man.
I'm gonna stop you real quick. The only reason I could see is that Spinner's ideals do not align with the ideals of what we need right here. So, but no, he was really
no. It absolutely does because the goals are get Kirigiri and mutant resolution. And he was discriminated against because his goal Shigaraki was my first friend. Yep. So they do. So as this tentacle bastard is yelling about, hey, this isn't the right way. Have you guys thought about this? And he's just like, smash. And then the people are looking like,
what should we do, leader? Don't care.
Do like he said, smash the oppression. Listen to your leader. He goes, yeah, smash. And then so again, like I said, all for one had to be like, I've implanted him with multiple quirks, so he is going to get stupider, and he's not going to be able to talk. So
he's going to start becoming a Nomu.
You will have to be the mouthpiece with no microphone or anything. I hope 15,000 people hear you. I certainly hope so.
Can't be, because the dude in the front like, are we doing the right thing? And then the people in the back like, why did y'all stop? Keep pushing forward. What's going on?
So you're gonna be the mouthpiece for the last half of these months, because the front half can't hear you. So that's fine. That's whatever. So you're gonna be up there spouting your bush. I hope that somebody like a Lockrock doesn't just come and punch you and just kill you. So get on up there, spout your and make our goal reality. Hey, may I perhaps get a quirk? No, you may not. Now, I hope that you can survive this, because this is, let's not forget, the key to my plan. I need Kirigiri to warp me over there so I can take his brain easily. Because let's be honest, I'm getting cooked. This is what's happening right here, right now. These months is cooking me, all right? And this ain't cool. So get Kirigiri, I warp, we cool, all right? And then I give you ... question mark, okay? Got it?
In the
Good.
new world.
Okay, sure, I'll do that. Hey, riot, everybody. And then he is just essentially pushed over. And then the next time we see him, he's tied up in the front of the pack going, hey, why aren't you guys rioting? He was on a building. They somehow got him down.
Well, the birds carried him there.
Yeah, the birds carried him.
It's
Thanks.
not
Big
birds.
ups in birds, as he has a quirk evolution that does what exactly? Because he can always control...
Further away. He can talk to animals further away.
Okay, you get 8 more ducks. Big and whoop.
Hey, it saved the day, didn't it? Hitchcock birds, baby. Big ups birds.
Pigman.
Oh yeah. You got Shoji, and you got Shoji, Spinner, Pigman.
Shoji, no reason to be there, obviously.
Yep. No, I can say there's a reason for him. Because he has
nothing that we saw beforehand,
Yes.
and that's what really hurts this thing.
Yeah, and that's so much of it. It really hurts that we don't get these things.
No.
It's very
It's
much the
here and
Demon
now.
Slayer thing, where and the two best friends thing. I have nowhere to put these feelings
No
because this trauma is here and then it's gone.
And we've never heard about this. You've never displayed anything that just goes, hey, wait a second. While they were having their big Class 1A versus Class 1B, somebody called him like dumb. I think the pony girl was just like, you dumb octopus. Nothing. No reaction at all.
It would have been great if during that his mask fell off and somebody was grossed out and he hurried up and put it back on.
Dragon Instinct Goku.
I tell you,
Dragon
we talked
Instinct
about this. Thank you for the super
Dragon
chat.
Instinct Goku.
Yeah.
But his backstory, because again, we need to work back.
And it's a good backstory. I like the backstory.
What do you like about it?
So I like the broken up nature of it, where he goes, I was hurt because I touched somebody, and the reason he touched somebody was to save the girl. I really like that aspect of it because you don't really know. You think it's just like, hey, I just bumped into somebody and they got mad and blah 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 blah. But it's, you helped somebody and still you're a monster. I really like the aspect of it.
So, as I was saying, so what does he do to go to forward that? Outside of here and now?
No.
Yeah, I'm looking at it. You're looking at, okay, I can understand in a bubble, whatever.
Yes,
it's fine.
I like
the
the
reason I help
past.
people, and therefore
I have
was hurt,
accepted it.
and I am not gonna use that. I'm not gonna be begrudging in there, and I'm gonna wear whatever. But he is plopped here, and he is the mouthpiece for all of these mutant muffs that are just like, hey, use
All
this.
the single furries, all the single furries, all the single furries.
She is a mutant.
Come on, Pony is a mutant. It's like a black person saying.
It's almost like he didn't think about this at all. We're gonna go with at all.
Thank you for the super chat. So
It's almost like this wasn't a thing, huh? Because you've got Mineta going octopus, and then he just goes, "Oh no, I did a slur." Maybe if this month was just like, "Hey, yo, that's not cool. It's propagating, making fun of people based upon their
you
looks."
can't say that word.
But there was none of this. If this had been sprinkled in, again, the book report.
And it's so crazy. I'm sorry to cut you off. It's so crazy because the other school, the dudes like, I've heard about you from contemporary history studies. How is there no, in the books, racism bush past? Because there were 2 genocides. How are there nothing in history? Now I understand the whole critical race theory going on today, and they try to push down a lot of the actual material of what happened during that time. But My Hero is a technologically advanced society.
This is
They
internet.
have the option to have that information, and they've just never learned about
They've
any
never learned
of
about
the
it.
race.
There's never been any kind of reforms. It has to go 8 years in the future. Like, this guy is helping mutants. No one before. In Dog Detective, Cat Cop, none of them motherfuckers.
I don't know about Europe. I know what Brexit is. I know what Brexit happened. And just in my peripheral, you had two genocides
And currently being discriminated
15,000
over there.
right outside the boundaries of your city.
Small towns, it's just like, oh, they're being discriminated and it's fine. They're not reporting it. There's no kind of reforms. There's no hate crimes, nothing until this very moment where they're spawned in and just going, I've been discriminated against. And I know it's not cool, but just wait. Just be like, hey, that's not cool, man. And then they'll be shamed and then they won't. Hey, has that ever worked, Shoji? Where are you getting this mindset from? Where are your beliefs coming from that you can shame these people in the light and just go, hey, yo, this ain't cool, man. And they'll be like, hey, yeah, you're right. Is it just because you're able?
DA, you made this mistake before. It's only one genocide. It was just called two things because Hori is a Star Wars throater.
I will say this. Any amount of genocides is one too many genocides.
To just brush over.
To just go, hey, y'all remember this genocide? So we will move forward with the knowledge of going, there is exactly one genocide, but there was a genocide. And genocide involves quite a few people, I would say. What is the definition of a genocide?
The attempt to wipe a people away, essentially.
Acts committed with the intent to destroy in whole or in part a national, ethnic, or racial or religious group. So they just walked down the street and just went, you're a dog person? Slice. You have one extra thumb.
Essentially, that's what happened with All for One's Pass, where it's just like, oh, these exceptional people, there's another one down there. Time to round up the boys and kill them.
So we move forward knowing that there has been a genocide.
Genocide has occurred.
This month has the knowledge of 16 years of being discriminated against. Up until this moment, he has done nothing about it. And we're just like, here is everything in these 4 chapters. Here's his ideology. Here's how the world is. Here's how the world is handling this. And here's what you should think, audience. Because writers they should, I understand.
Maybe they learned about it in textbooks? Where? When?
Yeah, I don't think that they... If they said it was because dumb octopus, not centipede man, was just like, it was in the textbook. I do not remember them ever mentioning a genocide before this moment.
I mean, it took Mineta hearing Shoji's story for him to go, oh no, I shouldn't have said that. So I gotta assume he didn't know what was going on.
I looked it
was erased.
I looked that up to discuss this thing. I found 0 evidence about that. I know Azarasa said it in his video. I don't know where you got that information from, so I'm not going to move forward as such. There's no way in this age of internet that this could be erased, an entire genocide. There's no way.
While it's still going on, technically.
Yes. How can you... Hey,
it would be like erasing what's happening in Palestine. Like, that's not possible.
But it'd be like erasing the Black Lives Matter movement where like 8 people died. That's not happening.
It would be like erasing January 6th, 1/6, where that person died. It's just like, no, this happened.
People assumedly round up and killed a bunch of mutant people. There's no way that this was erased. And this is also two conflicting reports, because it goes, they learned about it in textbooks and it was erased. So it can't be both.
And on top of that, it's like in the South, Florida banning books. Kids can get those books.
Yes.
They can have them ordered. They can get them through online libraries. They can pirate them. There are ways to get that information regardless.
And we need to know how it was erased, why it was erased, because if it was erased, you just go, okay, we did a very bad thing, the bad thing in history, this is going to be erased, and we're going to reform. We're going to make things good.
Rocklock rocks up and goes, we didn't know.
Yeah. The cops, when they're arresting people, are just like, our eyes are now opened. This is not a thing that happens in the towns and the cities. As they just say. They don't showcase it going on the outskirts. You can just be like, oh, and Spinner, his whole backstory was, I was a dumb lizard man and I was a shut-in until the League of Villains. You can just be like, it's not a whole mutant thing. It's just like he's just a creepy lizard guy. It's just certain mobs that are just like, well, you're just a slime person, and I don't like that. Nothing to do with a mutant thing. I'm not classifying you as a mutant. You're just slime.
Look, All For One being a race is a person in history. Like Deku, people think Deku's a legend. We're 6 years from.
All For One was operating in the shadows. He literally said that when he expelled his blood. He said that, how else am I going to operate in the shadows if I don't have contingency plans? He was not erased from the history books. He was never in them. Okay, so she's Order 66 happened, but 6 million. So like, yeah, I don't know where you're getting this information from that he was just, All For One was erased. Spinner.
Yeah.
Why make him stupid?
Why make him stupid?
Hey, multiple quirks makes people stupid. Okay, was Nagant stupid because she had a float-like quirk. She had her original quirk, and she had the bomb quirk that was put in her when it was just like, oh, you talking? Big boom. So she got 3 quirks. Spinner had the shell, the big thing, and his original, I guess, lizard mutant quirk, and that's 3. And he's for some reason stupid. And why make the figurehead? Because All For One pointed at him and just going, you will lead the people. He just went, you're going to lead the people. I'm not going to give you some kind of brain quirk. Absolutely not. No. I'm not going to give you some kind of regulator. No. I'm not going to clone you and then just have that one be the big dumb hulking one and you be the big talking one. No. I'm just going to pump everything in you and I hope that people will just follow you for some reason. And they do until they don't. Would you just like, oh dang, how could I have predicted that they just wouldn't believe a dude just going blur smash? Maybe think about this more than a little bit. This man is the figurehead of the mutant revolution, and you don't allow him to talk. What? How?
All it took was 2 little boys going, y'all kind of doing wrong,
hey,
you understand? Oh,
maybe no.
Maybe no.
Hey, wait a second. Maybe no. And then going back to the mob thing, what were they told to get them there? We're gonna go into this hospital and get this guy to what ends? And then what? We have this guy, and now mutants are free?
The only thing I can think is they have a brother imprisoned improperly, and we want to go rescue him. But at that point, why not go to all the jails and rescue all the people?
Why has it got to be a single? What were they told to get them there? 15,000 people or so. I forget exactly what the number was. But all them people that just rocked up and just go, storm this hospital. You got it. What was the flyer? What was the APB that was put out? Smash and grab. Okay, we got them. Now what?
And it was whispered because Shoji and Koda were like, we've heard some things and, we were informed that they're coming over there. So it was a...
And they know they're coming, but don't move Kirigiri for some reason.
Yeah, no, because we put out a bunch of fake info, but they didn't take the bait.
So we're spending too much time on this because there's still so much. How have we been going for an hour? We haven't talked about All Might. We haven't talked about the ending.
Pigman.
Oh, Pigman. Oh, okay.
Even if it's already been decided. Even
if
if it's
it's
set in stone. I'll smash that future. Hey, Deku, shut up, you nerd.
And it sucks because his impression is good.
Yeah.
But it's so cringe. Yay. So apparently everyone has a different quirk limit. Some can only have 2, others can have 10, and you'll never know which way. Nope.
Until you start getting pumped full of them. Shiggy can handle them.
Yep. Deku can handle them.
Yep. Because they're different quirks, because they can be stolen. You have multiple quirks and you will die. Okay, cool. But All For One, or One For All is 1 quirk. Okay, cool. But they can be individually stolen. Excuse me?
Also, your body can't handle One For All, but it can handle all those other quirks that you have, those trillions of quirks you have. All right, cool.
Okay,
cool. And it's so stupid. I understand we're jumping forward a lot, but it's so stupid because he notes that electrical blast with my regeneration. That's why I'm not regenerating. So then Creati and Kaminari do a big electromagnet cannon so you can go, hey.
Can we
I understand. Moving
because
forward.
I was gonna
Pigman.
start. I was gonna start
Pigman.
on that.
Pigman.
Who, what, where, why, when? Ask
Pigman
any
here
question.
now.
Any question about Pigman, and it is not answered, it is not explained, it is not explored. Why should we give any sort of care about this dumb pig man spouting his pig ideologies of, hey, maybe this isn't the right idea? Like, you've been writing for all of this time. There are multiple
Like he's
panels.
Spinner.
He's there. He's him. There are multiple panels with him or with a bat or something. And he's just like, oh, this is cool. But some hospital people get mowed down, which was the plan. You guys are rioting. This is violence. But all of a sudden,
And
a
you were
hospital
cool
which
with
you're
it.
going to. A couple people get mowed down, and you're just like, no, wait a second. I didn't know that we were going to be rioting. You dumb pig cuck. What do you think was going to happen here? And he's just like, this isn't right, you guys. I'm the pig, and I'm here to tell you guys that, and this is, dude, who is this? What are we supposed to feel about this?
What
As this
are
dude
we
is just
supposed to
yelling
feel
about
about this?
the right way and the wrong way. He goes, I face depression. Of course I have. I'm a dumb pig man. The state of me. But he goes, this isn't the right way. You thought you came here by bus because you ain't got a pig license for no car. You came to this muff. You took up arms. No, you got the notice. You took the notice. You said, hey, yo, rioting. Cool. You came here. This was not a peaceful march. You know this. And if you saw all these mobs just doing violence, you go, I ain't for me. Throw your hands up, you bounce. But you was up there with arms. They're like, the cops are like, we are outnumbered. We getting cooked out here. You holding down black people just like, you don't know racism. Okay, whatever. That's a whole different thing. But then all this stuff happens, but your goal is here. And you're just like, no, because now that we're here, I don't want to riot on hospital people. I thought we were just rioting on. There's no reason
These
for him to
two
be
young
like.
heroes trying to save.
There's no reason for him to have that change of heart because we don't know how he got here. We don't know his experience. We know nothing about this person to have this mindset to begin with, and now to change this mindset. Oh no, somebody got hurt. The thing that you are here for, so it should be fine. Of course, these people are going to protect their hospital. You've got this rampaging 8-foot-tall muff walking around with this spiked sword. You didn't think people was going to die? Now all of a sudden it's too far? No, you was here for this purpose. You don't get to say now it's too far. Now me and I'm the pig leader, and now this group of non-violent muff, now he's in the front of the pack.
Yep, of course.
He was all rah, but now all of a sudden he's like, hey, wait a second. There's nothing good about anything in this. It is baffling from frame one of Ayo Mutant Discrimination. Like, excuse me, where? Because that was the beginning of that. It was just started a page open, page turn. In chapter 2, 3, 75 or whatever, mutants have been discriminated against. My boss, they have. You don't get to just tell me that. You don't get to just plop this man down here and just be like, he is the mouthpiece for mutant discrimination, and have me just go, yeah, these months that were rioting with their dark, spooky faces, burning down muffs in buildings and crap like that for people that have not discriminated against you, because these are people in the city. You have no dog in this fight. These people have nothing to do with this. You can say that they are implicit in the acceptance of mutant racism, but they don't know because it's happening over there. So you're not reporting it, and you're taking violence against people that did you no harm until the moment that you just go, no. What? That pig son of a... It's an hour in. I'm losing my voice. I can't be doing this.
We got another hour.
No sense. We got as much time as we got until we finish this, because we haven't talked about so much. Oh my goodness.
We're now in the all-white
It makes
fight.
us hate them. He can't write.
He
And
can't
it
write.
sucks because he can't write.
Yeah, Gentle is 5-star every time.
I smiled 4 times.
Dude, with Gentle and LeBron, dude.
It is so... There are small moments that I think about and I just get goosebumps. obviously I want to fly too. There's a moment in the Jigoku Shoujo live action where I'm just like, oh my goodness. Sasuke Kiryuin in Kill la Kill has a speech. Hold your tongues and watch. Ask not the sparrow how the eagle soars. You aspire nothing more than the common thoughts of commoners. I won't let anybody beat me to my own ambition. It's a very good speech, delivered fantastically. But and this is the TCB scan. The other scan, the actual vid scan, is not as good. But I always get chills for Gentle just going, I really wanted to save that person. Back then when I did that bubble thing and he was hurt, and he just thinks about it, he goes, and that just cuts to the core of this month. Nothing glitz, nothing glamour. And then 2 chapters later, Deku falls off the building, and he's just like, that was Deku. And he just goes, does he trust me knowing that I'm here holding this up? That's why he's comfortable enough. Then he just goes, nah, I shouldn't even think that. I'm too presumptuous to think that. There's no cameras, there's no glitz. Audience. What I do here will neither give me cheers nor jeers, but I'm doing it. It's so good. And that's why writes so that good. In between all of this All Might armor bush. How do you do that? How do you write such good stuff and then just wipe your butt and put it on the page? I really wanted to save that person. It wasn't about fame, glory, hero, none of that. That person, when it was in danger, I really wanted to. And that's so good. And then we got this pig man spouting his pig ideologies at me. Like I'm supposed to care.
This is the All Might moment.
Oh!
I just finished the manga. Loki, I just finished the manga earlier today, and I thought it was just whatever. I feel like I feel like you would feel that way if you didn't love the manga in the beginning. The issue was, if this was like Jujutsu Kaisen, I feel nothing for Jujutsu Kaisen. So all these things happening in Jujutsu Kaisen, whenever I read it, it's likely going to be like a whatever thing to me. We loved My Hero Academia, and this is just, the fall is so hurtful. And even within, like you said, within these pages, there's good stuff. There's good ideas here. There could be good things, and it's just not, and it hurts. I actually have a Raging and Ranting compilation coming at some point.
Give me a second to breathe.
Yeah. This is a super weird one. This is when he's going into all the kids' quirks and stuff. All Might uses Uraraka's float, but not Nana's. And it just speaks so hard to how Horikoshi wants to frame this as All Might looking over the kids and wanting to adapt their stuff into his body and blah, 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 blah. But your mentor gets nothing. And it's clear that he can and will use those things because he used Black Whip. But he can't shout out.
Imagine if he used Gran Torino's bouncy. That'd been good.
But he doesn't speak to those people, the people that brought him up, only the people he watched that he
simply watched.
And he has no connection to Sugar Rush. I'm sorry, he has none. And why is he using his ability?
Like I said, it was all for Deku at the very end. Yeah. We have laid the groundwork that this month is copying the quirk. Deku has analyzed all of his classmates' quirks, so he now just transferred that right over. And people just going, oh, people can't hero outfits, big armor and all that stuff. It's not practical. You just go, okay, this month, just have a glove. Because he has a shoe that hops on his foot and he's just like, Sugar Man kick. Okay, so now you have a super strong kick. So you can make a gauntlet that gives you super strength. So now Mina has acid and super strength.
Yeah, that because there are people that are just big hands.
There is no situation where where it would be disadvantageous to have super strength. It is only a positive. And these muffs have essentially free access to whatever support item they want. And Mei Hatsume, I love her. She's great. Hatsume. But she takes one look at a broken gauntlet of Deku's, looks at it, goes, nope, I can't fix that, walks away. She's talking to Deku and Ida. She reaches into something And within like 30 seconds, she makes an exact replica with things that she just had around. And then they just go, you just made that all with just your left hand? She wasn't paying attention. She was doing something with her right hand. She was talking. She didn't even get a good look at the thing. But she perfectly recreated this thing that took a genius in America, Melissa, so much time and effort to make. I love her, but gee, come on now. This is just like
good.
He needs this brace, and now we're just gonna get it. So you telling me that Mei Hasume just can't make super strength muffin things for just anybody?
In her sleep?
Flying, anything. Everybody should have a base level of flight and super strength and your quirk. Boots and gauntlets that get boots for flight, gauntlets for strength. Because they're out there. We see that they're out there. But no, for some reason.
We're past the
I
almighty.
should have waited for the pig, man. I feel like going to sleep.
All I said with this was Stain freezes all for one expels his blood. How is this fun?
What do you get out of this? How are you as a reader looking at this and just going, this is what I've been waiting for?
Awesome.
Get him, Stain.
Great.
Oh, Stain
Hype.
is here. How is this person gonna get out of this? Blood expelling quirk? All of his blood? Yes. And now it doesn't work anymore. Correct.
How are there not camo clothes for Hagakure?
I've wondered that so much. It makes no sense because you got Mirio, whose hair allows him to permeate through the ground, and that's his costume is made out of his hair, but you can't do the same thing for her.
This is when Bakugo was flying with All Might. I mean, not All Might, All for One.
Should have been.
Bakugo matters even more than All Might. Why does he vex me even more than All Might?
Why indeed?
Because
you know
he
what
has
the
the
reason
eyes.
is? He just looks like this.
Doesn't even really look like him. He's just like, there's no real features.
Eyes of
eyes.
Rebellion or resistance or whatever.
And the same thing happens at the end when he's fighting all the kids, and you look at Grape Rush, and he's just like, he's got the eyes too.
Oh no, here comes Grape Rush. Oh shit. He coming for me.
He got the eyes.
Look, this Grape Rush.
I better not go over there or I'm finished.
Oh, what did I write down for that, folks? I'm convinced that willful resolve resembling the second user of One for All has crossed time and space to thwart me. That is the excuse that this month gives that why Shigaraki was just like, nah, I don't like this Bakugo fella, and why All for One is just like, nah, not this dude. This guy's rebellious eyes is just like, you remind me of that other guy. I don't like it.
This was a big problem for me. The only viable warp targets are All Might and Shigaraki. Why not Deku from the start? Hold on. He's warped from Bakugo before because he was close to someone All for One it was associated with. So the way that Gloop works, or Goop or whatever it's called, is they have to be personally invested in the person, personally know them. So Shigaraki and All Might would be Shigaraki and All Might would be the viable ones. But he did it with Bakugo. So with that, Deku should be a viable target in order to do this, which would have alleviated the entire issue because he would have glooped through Deku, who was close to Shigaraki, while he was at his peak form, and then got to Shigaraki.
So the situation was, All for One was flying away, and Bakugo was chasing after him because he's fast enough to chase after this buff with theoretically hundreds to thousands of quirks. And he goes, dang, I can't even goop away because the only targets over here are All Might and Shigaraki. So he was talking about forcibly gooping Bakugo away. So goop Bakugo back to All Might, and then he has to catch up to you. Mm-hmm. Once he catches up to you, goop him back again. And now you're further away and keep doing that. But I have to be stupid for this manga to go.
And we just have to accept it.
Yes, we have to be stupid, and that's why this happens.
Explosive sweat inside regular sweat. Cool.
How are you supposed to feel about that?
How does he even regulate that?
How do you figure that out? Because this month in the heat of battles had 3 different quirk awakenings. The first time when he fought against Shigaraki, where he protected Deku right before he died, and right here he's had 3 different quirk power-ups. And what does Tape Man get? the hero Tape Man?
He gets the big speech.
I don't know about none of that fighting or whatever.
My life been good, but but theirs hasn't. So here I am.
Yeah. 1 second. He goes. All for one just goes. Tragedy makes you stronger, isn't that right, Deku? And this Tape bastard says, yeah, I don't know. Unlike some of you.
When that happened, I was like, he wasn't even talking to you. Why is he speaking? What is blood?
I only care about Deku. Actually, I'm here, the Tape hero.
It's the Thor meme where it's like, hey, ain't that right, Deku? And he just slides in. Who are you?
Universal Instinct Goku, Angel Seed Goku, Autonomous Dragon Force Goku.
Thank you for the super chat. So, no, TTS is not on at the moment. It's going to get turned back on when we go through y'all stuff.
Just so we can have a proper frame of reference. It's just not
so when I cut these up, it's not a bunch of TTSs. When I cut these up into actual videos, it's not a bunch of TTSs and stuff.
Yeah, if you have something you want us to address after we get done talking about our points, just put it in the Q&A part. But he goes, yeah, I don't know. Unlike some of you, my life wasn't full of wild highs and tragic lows. All I had pushing me forward was like not wanting to fall behind on the next practical exam.
I was just
whatever.
I was just
he literally said,
I saw it.
Or I just don't want to fall behind or whatever. It's like, you have no thoughts, but you're sitting there. This man is just like, I've got 1,000,000 quirks. I'm about to subjugate the world. Everybody is quiet. All eyes on you, and you're just like, I don't know nothing about what's going on here, but let's how about these?
I would say Tokoyami or maybe even Kaminari for the 4th strongest student, but it's more than likely Tokoyami.
He busted.
Yeah,
in the right conditions.
That's all mine.
Okay.
We can do some Q&A.
Yeah, we can run the Q&A and then we can.
We'll probably rant while it.
Yeah, because I haven't gotten all my stuff out.
Yeah.
There's some stars and stripes stuff that I want to hit, but we can talk about that once I get to my notes.
Yep.
Let's see what we got in the Q&A. Uh-oh, SpaghettiOs.
How do you?
You just click it.
Oh, because I'm up here. Yeah,
You've done this so much time.
Yeah.
It was you. You're the guy.
Yeah, I am the guy. Oh my god. Oh my god. Least favorite villain in My Hero Academia.
All for one. All for one. So I told you there were 4 times that I smiled. One was gentle. The rest were just exasperated. Oh my god, this is actually happening. And when he opened his mouth and just like, I'm here, mother. I'm the big dumb talking ball sack. I'm just like, you got nothing, man. And I was just shaking my head like this isn't anything.
Has early My Hero Academia aged badly? If so, where?
Like I said, I read the tail end of the Shiggy's first introduction thing, and that was not as good as I remember. So once we figure out, go back and reread everything, it might not be as good as we thought it was. I, in the midst of my insanity and just exasperation, went back and reread Gentle.
It's a 5-star arc, dude. It's legitimately, and I was talking about this with somebody. It's legitimately one of my favorite arcs in all of Battle Shonen.
It's like top 3.
It's one of the greatest arcs you will ever see.
Just Deku going, nobody's making fun of you. I'm taking this seriously.
It's such a good arc, y'all.
It's so good.
Their past is so f***ing good.
Oh, I didn't even show you all my notes.
But there's going to be a lot of them.
Let's start at the bottom and just go work our way up.
Oh Lord. Yo, we're going to be here till 6.
And work our way up.
And this is just the final arc.
Our way up.
DA. Oh, my early has always been Overhaul. Even during that arc, I was like, ooh, this isn't. DA, why you love Eri?
I don't. I think that she's fine.
Yep. Clip that as you will.
Calm down, y'all. I think that she is I think that her character.
Yeah, he's getting flustered just thinking about
Thinking about her. I think her character is fine. I do not like the resolution at all with the cutting off the horn.
No.
With I just want to sing for them because this would set this up beforehand.
I do like the party where everybody's like she's gonna do some like little ballad and she tries to do this like rock thing. I like that.
And it's also a big problem with her arbitrary horn timeline.
Even if it's already been decided, even if it's set in stone, I'll smash that future! Hey, Deku, shut up, you nerd!
Because we'll get to that as soon as that. But the arbitrary timeline, because they just go, don't you remember what happened with Eraserhead? You couldn't fix him there, and he's just like, no, I'm fine. So it's just like there's just a certain time when the horns get ready to go,
Angel
and it's
Essence
just
Goku,
not now.
Dragon Instinct Goku.
I just
Spirit
don't
Saiyan
like
Goku,
that. Just like,
Primal
man, whatever. It's
Instinct
just
Goku.
it's gonna be ready when it's ready.
Oh, let me turn on TTS. That's my bad. Let me turn on TTS. Let me turn on the redeems. Which redeem was it?
Turn on TTS once we're done with the Q&A stuff.
Okay. I can at least turn on redeems. I don't care about that. That's just...
Yeah, leave them all off. It's
all right.
fine.
Yep, that's fine.
Who do you think would have been?
Hold on.
Oh, sorry.
Thank you for re-upping to the bombs, Isaiah. Don't start on Hagakure. I'm still trying to figure out why everyone has something to say about Momo. Mostly right, but no one was speaking on the high school running around butt naked.
Because nobody could see her.
And then when
and she wasn't until she was in her hero outfit, which is a lot of the time. But
when this was a TTS, it was more time. Thank you for the super chat. So, who do you think would have been the best person for the trader? Personally, I say Uraraka. There's a fantastic Booster Gold thing where his little buddy ends up being a big trader to them. I would have loved if Dark Shadow was the trader.
Yeah. Easy answer is Invisible Girl. More difficult answer is I've implanted a quirk within you that only comes out at night when you sleep, and it puppets you around. And it could have been somebody else, anybody else. But yeah, it's a lot of people that could have been. The most logical answer is Hagakure because she's invisible.
Yes. What's your favorite My Hero Academia villain other than Gentle? Toga. Table it now. What do you want to do?
She's just dead.
Oh yeah.
What does her story mean?
Death.
What was he trying to accomplish with her story? Because the fight itself was good. The fight itself was exactly what I wanted, like Shigaraki and off Deku to be.
When I was reading it weekly, I was like, "Ooh, this is." But rereading it, it's really good.
But Shigaraki and Ochiko and Toga, they're talking all throughout the battle. She's giving her points. She's giving her points, and it comes to a whole.
Toga's not trying to. Uraraka's not trying to
hurt her. She's just defending for the most part.
And trying to change her mind.
And then I understand you, and they come to an agreement. Deku is all feet and fists against Shiggy and just like, I'm gonna figure this out, as he's just punching him.
I'll hold your hand.
Shiggy's just like, I'm gonna destroy everything. And he's like, no, you won't. I'm gonna get to you. And then there's several times where they're just like, what's your plan? He's just like, I ain't got one. I'm just gonna go into his hole. And that's his plan. If it was more like, if you're gonna do talk no jutsu, talk you've shown that you can do it. So do it. Dabi and Todoroki was a bit of the talk, and they got their points out. They understood where they were coming from. But the Toga and Ochiko, good fight, point. Dumb stuff where it's just like, sad man's parade. Okay, now I'm gonna turn into Dabi. Oh, I can't. Why? I love them. And it's just like, well, your love and your hate are mixing together and you can't.
Bloodlust.
Okay, thank you.
But you can turn it to Jiro? But you can turn it to Jiro? Oh, okay, cool.
You could turn into that one wild pussycat girl that you've seen once. Okay. Dumb stuff like that. But yeah, it was just all I'm gonna punch you until you fall down, and then I'll figure out what to do with you. There wasn't no talking about why are you doing this or none of that. That's why. But yeah, Toga.
Having not read the war arc, who the hell is Pigman? I tried looking him up and Google thought I was crazy.
Because he doesn't have a name, he doesn't have a character, he doesn't have a history, he has nothing, but he is the whole mouthpiece of why the dumb riots are bad, and you shouldn't be rioting.
Just look up the chapters of those. It's only like 2 or 3 chapters and you'll see.
He had like not an 8 page, he had like a 4-page speech of just like, dang, rioting, y'all. Hospitals.
Maybe not.
I'm baking because I'm cooked.
Been seeing a lot of people on Twitter walking about My Hero or talking about Ma Society and stuff, but I call bullshit on most of it. 90% of it is headcanon. What do you think are some genuine faults of My Hero Society and how it fails people? Because I don't think it showcases that well. Most of the villains are evil for super specific personal reasons. Maybe I just failed the media literacy check, but I don't buy most of it. I don't buy it because of the headcanon, but there are the frameworks, the foundation of talking about the issues of society. Things like, hey, maybe the heroes aren't as good as we initially thought. You can look at Endeavor like that. You can look at Lady Nagat like that.
Because it was just like, heroes are a commodity. We need villains. If Muff is taking out villains, you need to take them out so we can still have villains, so we can still have heroes. It's like, but nothing changes in the future while in Hawks is hero president. So
yeah, so there's
whatever. That's more of that. We're gonna say that this is a problem.
We're not gonna say it. We're gonna say we're working to fix it.
It's better now.
But yeah, there's a lot of things there where you could look at to go, hey, society, like the metahuman stuff, the metamorphs or whatever their names are. There are things there, but it's not presented in the manga in a degree to allow you to have these conversations of what hero society truly is. Because like I said earlier, if we would have had a talk about, hey, it's not people's quirks that are the problem, it's the perception of it. Because you can even look at Shinso like that, where it's, hey, you have a quirk that is usually for a villain, mind control, but he uses it perfectly for the hero stuff.
My quirk compels me to drink blood. And all we got about that is them sitting her down and just going, be normal.
And it's so crazy because it's so much like gay conversion camps where it's just like, pray the gay away. We're gonna essentially beat this out of you as opposed to trying to come to terms with who you are.
People see it as an LGBT allegory because of the whole accepting who she is and at the end of it. And I've lived my life the way that I wanted to.
And then she dies.
Yeah, quirk counseling.
There's your allegory.
There is no known quirk counseling.
There is, but we see what it is. We'll whip you into shape.
Be normal. There is no childhood regulation of quirks of, hey, you are super strong. You can freak out at any point in time. Here's a gauntlet that only lets you use 5% of your power.
If this was a better manga, we would have a discussion of everyone's normal is different. But we don't have that. We have, oh my God, they hurt me. And now I'm gonna hurt them.
More talks of quirk hierarchies of float is not as a flashy of power as explosion. So Uraraka, you have one after the sports festival, you have one person won you. In Bakugo, let's say he didn't even win, but because of his flash, he's got 50 people because he's more put on the billboard. They're more talking about how the Momo stuff of, well, she's a pretty lady and big hands, so put them in a dress and hawk this perfume.
Yeah,
more of that. But
this is the way women have to become top heroes. We've it's been decades since we've had a #1 hero that was a woman.
The whole thing with the rankings is just like, it is a hard and fast, this is your job, you have to be better, but there's no way to be better unless there's crime. There was, at my job, it was just like, hey, whoever takes the most amount of these calls will be the winner and there'll be a prize on money. It's like, well, that's not fair because what if I take 5 password calls and get none of those calls? I don't take control of the calls. So there's no controlling of Mount Lady just being like, hey, unless more of the agency stuff, how they send people out. What does it mean to be a sidekick? How much of a cut do you get? How do you make an agency? It's just the hero society, and then over here you have the commodification of it. Over here you have the month that only care about the numbers and being the strongest and the biggest rank.
And you have the people, the vigilantes outside of it, like Miracle, is just like, I don't give a about none of that.
I got no agency, but I'm still number 5 for some reason. Over here, within the Hero Society, you got all the quirks and how you handle the quirks and the quirk counseling and what you do with children. Oh, because like I said, it makes no sense for that one dumb teacher to just be like, oh, I've got a class with this cannon mouth, this mouth that can make ice.
Please take them off my hands for just an hour.
Because if the kids just go, we rule the class now. They rule the class until somebody rocks up and just...
It's no different than that middle school teacher before they got to UA. It was just like, this is your final day, and all the kids are just showing off their powers. What are you gonna do to stop telekinesis, girl?
No, none of that. Be like, emitters, people who can shoot stuff will be in this class, and we will focus that in training and everything. You don't just mix Cannonball Man with somebody who can make balls out of their nutsack or whatever. You have to, and just be like, we're just gonna teach y'all math. That makes no sense as they're just sitting there brimming. I'm a snake person. What do I need math for? Yeah, there's just not enough on, and I understand that's not the story that he was trying to tell, but there's so many stories within the story that weaves back into the Hero Society stuff that we don't really get any of it. Stain just rocks up and just going, people want to be heroes for the money, and who does he take out? Ingenium, who we've never seen only wanting the money because we've never seen him. Some random people. We don't see him really doing anything, so we don't see that whole... This is the problem. He's just solving a problem that we have to assume is a problem. And then once he's defeated, it is known that, hey, this is a problem. People only want fame. And then nothing is done with that. It is just, yep, I guess he was kind of right. And these people are doing it for the right reason, but whatever.
What do you think of Dabi surviving and the reunion with Todoroki?
It was so forced simply for them to have that conversation and the closure.
Yeah. And I would have been less about it if Toga got that as well. But with Toga just dead, Dabi should just be dead. Get him out of here. Y'all don't deserve this.
It just makes no sense for him to be alive after he was almost burnt to. He was going so hot that Endeavor was just like, his mind is gone. Whatever that means, he's so hot that his brain is fried, but then no, it's not. And he's fine enough to be hooked up here. What?
Having conversations, apologizing to Todoroki.
It just it's all for the theme, for the closure of the Todoroki family drama stuff. You need to have that conversation of, I am sorry that I did this to you. I'm sorry that I wasn't there for you. I wish we could have had this relationship, brother. All this stuff. You needed to have that. That's the only reason why he was alive. And I understand that this is a story. And in stories, you need a closure like that. But at the same time, don't put him in a situation where he's about to explode from the intense heat. Freeze him and then just go, he's fine, but he's not really fine because he's gonna die at any point in time. But I do get to sit here and have a conversation. Not you guys, terribly sorry, Endeavor, because only thing that the sister says is, dang, I really want to talk to you. I don't remember anything the brother said. The mom was just like, I'm sorry, and then Todoroki was just like, soba. So only Endeavor gets this. And that's what it always was. That's why I don't really care about the Todoroki family stuff, because it's always just about Endeavor, and I don't really care about Endeavor as a person or a character. So it's all just focused on him and Todoroki. Same thing with that. I'm just like, I don't really care about you characters, and I don't really care about your family drama.
Why would Deku be considered a myth after the 8-year time skip? That doesn't even make any sense. It was broadcasted live for people to see.
Live. People were saying his name. All sorts of things.
That he inspired people. Mm-hmm. And then all of a sudden, you're a real guy? to a kid that was alive at the time it happened.
Lady Nagant was offered a government job. She was there on that route because Deku inspired her. Gentle, who now runs some kind of programming, he interviews, this is all because of the boy, the young man Deku. It's Zuko Midoriya. He was big hype. He's a green guy. He's gone now. He's a teacher or whatever. There's so many people like that have that relationship with him. And when they're giving interviews, all of the classmates, they're interviewing in the last chapter. They're doing an expose on Red Riot.
Yeah.
You telling me they're...
He's not mentioning
Bakugo is in the contention for top 5 hero, if you want to fudge the numbers, because it's all just vague.
Yeah.
But let's just say top 10. He's not giving interviews about my boy Deku. Todoroki's not giving interviews about my boy Deku. Mirio's not giving interviews about my boy Deku. They're not trying to interview All Might about my boy Deku. None of these people. It makes no sense. 0 sense. This is 8 years. 8 years ago was 2016?
Yep.
I'm horrible at math.
Yep.
No, it wasn't.
Yes, it was. Yeah, it was.
No, it was. Yeah. I'm horrible at math. But it was 2016. What happened in 2016? Was it an election? Was that an election year?
That's when Trump won the election.
Imagine if it was just like, who was the last president before this month? And nobody knew because it was 6 years ago. It makes no sense. 8 years. Whatever amount of time it was. And it just makes no sense. And I don't know why he wanted to do that other than the fact of just like, Deku's fine with this. But if he was mobbed for interviews and stuff like that, he would miss it. And then we would be sad. But even if we were sad, at the end, he gets what he wants with a new suit and being a hero again. So it's fine to be sad for him to not be a hero and stuff like that, because he gets it later. I really don't understand what the purpose of that was.
What do you think of the semi-redemption of Shigaraki? It's what it was always leading to, so in that instance, it's whatever.
It seems like he tried to excuse it with none of these actions were your own. I was controlling everything in your life, baby, which is so stupid. I took
your quirk, whatever it was, and then I gave you this quirk.
Hey, you know what feels good? Nothing in your wife.
Yo.
I'm just saying. Thank you all for telling me
Hey.
And then he just goes, your son's getting a little lippy, ain't he? Maybe give him one of these. It's like, I encourage your father's strict hand. It's like, hey, you told my daddy to beat me.
Heroes kind of suck, don't they?
We really do, don't they? Kids play in traffic. It's like everything up until this point, his ideals of dang heroes are kind of cool. I want to be a hero. It's still with him the whole Nana being gone, all this stuff was orchestrated for this moment. So it takes away his agency in what the actions that he took, because he's just essentially
a puppet.
So in the terms of the puppet Shigaraki, the person that's puppeted the Tenko is just like, I thought this is what I wanted to do, but this is just what some dude wanted me to do. I can understand the redemption, but it just takes away from everything that he did to just have that puppet string of just like, but no, though, Madara up to Toby, up to Madara again, up to Black Zetsu, up to Moon Mama.
Oh, this is just funny. I feel bad for Deku, bro, about to get NTR comics printed like hotcakes for the end of time. He's just gonna see Uraraka floating with Bakugo while he's just grading an essay on the news or something. Like, I can't be up there with them. So he didn't use the power that cancels the electronics to show that he has it against All Might.
You missed Debts.
Did I?
It's weird to think that all the superpowers.
No, I was up here.
Oh. I was looking at this other song. My bad.
Yeah. So he didn't use the power that cancels the electronics to show that he has it against All Might, but was able to get the new power out of his. And that's so much of All for One, where
he has so many.
I'm just gonna use this. Who
he
cares?
Has so many quirks, but he just doesn't use them. Bakugo is just chasing after him. I'm just like, okay, laser. You have so many air pressure thing. Spam this stuff just to keep him tired. and then he can't get to you. Put an air shield around you. Do any number of things, but he just runs away until he just goes kaiju time. It's like you've done nothing.
All your energy for this.
You've done literally nothing,
and you've tried nothing,
and it was all over because one of the first things that he does, because I'm a very pedantic person.
Yeah.
All Might goes, in the beginning of all your fights, you do the same clumsy long range move that you always do. And I just
tire people out so you can take their quirk.
And I go, did he? Endeavor? Yes, he did. He used wind blades. Against All Might? Yes, he did. He used an air pressure. And I was just like, you got it? You got it, Horikoshi? And I wrote that down just to mention it, just to be like, he showcased this thing of him saying that he does this thing, and then he showed it. I was just like, he did it. But I was like, those black spikes that he used against Jiro, he could use anything. There was a time when he was getting desperate, and he just against All Might, where he combined air pressure, the spike thing, and like 3 other things, and All Might was just like
strength quirks.
He just spamming stuff because he's getting desperate, and he does nothing against Bakugo until the moment where he's just like kaiju time, and I'm a coming, and that's just so lame. Just to have that moment of. Here's a chance that Bakugo can win because my whole face is exposed. All the quirks that I'm using, all this exposed, because it's just like the buildings are melting around him with the sheer energy and all this stuff. They're just being destroyed around him, but they're just a clear shot for sweat, covered in sweat, to come right into his mouth.
What do you think of the scene where Stain motivated All Might in front of his statue?
I wrote it down. It's stupid.
All right, we're gonna get to it.
So. My main issue is Stain worshipped All Might.
Yep.
He has done so for presumably years. He goes, this is the only person that should be a hero. He does not recognize, I understand that he's in prison. He would not recognize his skinny form. But later in the fight, where when he was reintroduced into the final fight, he picks up a rock and just goes, he smells it and he just goes, whose blood is this? He smells and goes, no, this isn't All Might's blood, because it was in contact with him earlier. He memorized his smell. So he was like, this is somebody else. It must be All for Once. Got it. Lick it. Done. But all this time of worshiping him, he never saw him in real life. He never
grabbed a piece of cloth.
Nothing. And I'm just like, it makes no sense, because I look back at the very first chapter. When All Might does his big punch, he bleeds out of his mouth. So his blood is out there. When he does do strenuous things, he does bleed. So it should be out there. He's worshiping him from afar, and he never got a whiff of his smell. He never went to a public speaking. He never did anything up until the point where he just went, oh, now I got that. And that's why I'm just like, this is stupid. And then the whole lady cleaning the thing, and it's we'll get to it.
It's weird to think that all these super powerful abilities went missing, and it's All for One and Shigaraki.
Yeah, nobody knew about it.
And nobody.
Nothing. It's just, they're just gone.
Yeah, are they killing these people instantly and just like, eh?
And then you're just like, oh, there's somebody out there had a belly button laser.
Yeah.
And now it's just respawned, and I can understand.
And it has to be they killing these people. It has to.
And I can understand that, quirks can reform in the world. There's limited number of things that could possibly happen. So the person that had that belly button quirk stolen might not be like, hey, my brother had that quirk. What the
Yeah.
So
it's not out of the realm of disbelief for fans. I'm just reading some of the comments up there too. It's not out of the realm of disbelief for fan content of My Hero Academia doing a better job of the story and its characters through literature, auto drama, and fan comics. Absolutely.
Because there's so much that can be done with just little tweaks. So it's completely understandable how you could be like, I can fix these things.
Mm-hmm. So why didn't they put All for One and Shiggy in the same area so they could have used Eraserhead's power and throw everyone else into the ocean or something so that all the heroes would jump on
because it works with multiple targets. We've seen this. Mm-hmm. So he could have just put them both in the same place, multiple targets. All for One is just, he's blind, he's deaf. He has no senses anymore. So just, he falls out of the air, stomp on his neck, done. He's completely done. And then you just take care of Shiggy at that point.
Could Deku alone be all the villains in the final war arc?
Outside of Shiggy and All for One, yes.
What do you think of Endeavor?
I don't like him. I don't care.
Remember that time in the final arc they showed the dude who goes, "Mwahaha, I'm the person that killed Midnight," and they show Kirishima and Mina's reaction, and then literally nothing happens. That was the craziest thing because we see this big panel of Mina's face, just like, "I'm mad," and I was like, "Did I forget Mina's fight?" And I was looking forward to rereading it because there's some things I was just like, I don't remember that shit. And it happens, and I'm like, oh no, we're in the Deku Shigaraki fight. There's no time for her. It never happens. And then she shows up at the end like, I don't know what happened.
Resolved.
What happened to you?
But this dude rocks up like, it's all feeble. Everybody's gonna die. Like that teacher that I killed like a month ago. Y'all remember that? That was pretty cool. Oh, these 2 moms that care about her are right in front of me. Oh, whoops. And that's just don't have them do anything. Why have them do something that we do not care about instead of just do nothing with them? Because Tape Guy, Tail Guy, all these, for the most, just don't have Anima there. Yeah. Have these months, you never cared about them, and I do not care about them, so whatever. Hey, have them doing recon, or have them doing more utility stuff like
Kaminari.
Like Momo, Kaminari, they're doing... What was Grape Rush doing? We don't know, and that's fine. If you don't care, don't pretend like you care and just go, oh no, Aoyama is hauled up by Sunflower Man and everybody's a seed.
Angel Seed Goku. Autonomous Dragon Force.
Everybody is a seed, and what is he gonna do? Oh, he's gonna shoot his lasers, and then Hagakure's gonna just beat him, and that's just done. Just don't have it. They don't get together. They have no relationship. That goes nowhere. Hagakure's quirk is malfunctioning. That goes nowhere. That's worth nothing. Just don't do it.
Bold of anyone to assume that Deku didn't already have a mountain of NTR comics, mostly by Mineta or Bakugo. Really? Mineta?
No, there's a lot of yaoi.
Yeah, that's fair.
Obvious. For obvious reasons.
Now they all just be legal adults when they make Ochiko Kakum. What do you think of Kurogiri Aizawa's backstory being in another manga? I wish they would.
Horrible.
I wish they would have shorthanded what happened at least.
It is one of the most incompetent things that I've ever seen. The
6
beginning,
pages, and I would have been good.
The entire beginning, their friendship, the death of Homeboy, how they felt after it, is all over there. Read that in order to get these big revelations, and President Mike just going, "You're dead. I don't care about you. How could you be here with this dumb face?
This monster."
Just yelling at him, and I'm like, I don't feel anything because I don't know. We were friends, and you died, and that's all we got here. But it's all over there, and that's one of the most incompetent things that I've ever seen in a manga. Don't do it. Have it be pure and simple supplemental material. Because I was looking up Vigilantes, and we got a little bit of school Miracle, and I'm just
really?
Why has nobody informed me of this?
I guess Vigilantes is the next thing I'm
Where
reading.
was nobody? Hey, at DA in Miracle, here's her doing the moon thing as a schoolgirl. All right, I'm in there. But she's over there. It's like, I don't need anything about her.
Yeah.
She is who she is.
And she's awesome. Lob it off.
Cut it. Rehab. Cut it off.
Cut it off. Put them shits on me. Let's rock.
She is a person in the moment. She's just like, you're still coming at me. It's like, when it's time to go, it's time to go.
And she's just running.
I don't want to live with any regret. When it's time to go, it's time to go. Next panel is Ed Shot trying to revive Bakugo. We're not gonna mention that, but that's just cool on its own. And I'm like, I don't care why she became it. We see why she's a hero. She likes kicking motherfuckers. But this is bad motherfuckers. But this is a story that has been in this dude, Kirigiri.
Thank you for the super chat, so.
Kirigiri was introduced in like chapter 15, 16. The whole revelation was like chapter 150, 200, whatever. All this time, it's just like, well, it's all over there. President Mike, the only thing that he's got going for him in this war, other than stop Shigaraki, because obviously stop Shigaraki, is Kirigiri and their friendship. And I don't know, other than that you was my friend and you died. Cool, thanks.
Be quiet, black man. Oppressed minorities are speaking.
You don't know nothing about oppression. You don't know nothing about racism. The only black person in this manga.
Do you prefer the Demon Slayer ending or the My Hero Academia ending? Demon Slayer.
It was a lot more boring, but there was a lot less wrong.
Demon Slayer was what it was. We're gonna get a bunch of fights. Sometimes we're gonna get a backstory and manga.
Once you get to All Might, which is like 396 or something like that, once you get there, it's just back to back to back to back complete diarrhea.
And the only thing I can
objective diarrhea.
The only thing I could really call super diarrhea in Demon Slayer was the end fight.
But it was just 30 chapters of condensed poop.
Do you remember that the sludge villain is in this arc?
Yes.
Also, this guy...
He had to scream that, oh, taking over this kid is a lot better than taking over that other kid that I took over in the beginning. Y'all remember it was a middle school that exploded? Yes, we know Horikoshi. Yes, we see that Deku is running to save this kid. Yes, I understand that he did that in the first chapter. I know. I have an eye.
Oh, dude, we've got so many more.
And it's gonna keep going.
We're gonna have to speed through some of these.
No, we're not.
If there's one redeeming quality in My Hero Academia, what would you say it is? Outside of Gentle and
I think the art is very good.
Art's very good.
I'm not an art person, but there are times where I'm just like, this is very good art shot.
The emotional beats hit really hard.
When they are.
And the more you care about them, the harder they hit. If you don't care about what's going on, they're not going to
the Bakugo panel with all those people praying and crap like that, I'm sure that hit. That hit for people.
That hit for somebody.
But obviously, Bakugo getting his black back blown out. That's just like, oh no, Bakugo. It's like, well, yeah. What do you think was going to happen?
How many people do you think went missing, had their quirks stolen to fuel All for One Shiggy and all those noble abilities? Hundreds, maybe thousands.
Because he's just like 6 times strength, 3 times spring, air pressure.
And that's the stuff in him, not even the stuff he gave away to no moves and such.
And he's been doing this for years and years and years, up to like 100 years, at least a whole generation or two. It's been so many people, and it's been underground, and all this time he's just like, oh, whatever, you know. No, I guess they're just gone.
How do you feel about Uraraka crying about Himiko? It just sickens me, to be honest. It's the whole, they want to frame it as forgive this person for the situation that put them into this situation. Mm-hmm. But at the end of the day, you're really just saying, forgive this murderer. Because no matter what, Uraraka even says that I can't take away the things you've done. You've hurt people, blah, blah. I can't wipe that slate clean. You can cry for Himiko's situation and help people that might future be in her situation. But you should not be crying for Himiko herself, because she gleefully was a murderer. Mental illness, her situation, all that. She did these things with glee. You can't
put her in jail where she belongs. I'm not going, hey, cut her head off because she killed people. No, prison. The purpose of prison is rehabilitation.
Reform.
So don't put her in prison and just lock her up and just go, come out. You've got a stint of 30 years, and then once you come out, our hands are clean. No, prison, counseling, do whatever you got to do to make her right.
That's what if she cried over her with that, like the day she came out of prison, I would have clapped. She is reformed. But she is under your care. But yeah, just crying on the roof. That's like she's feeling like for days on end while they're doing all that stuff, to the point Deku's like, nah, something's up with you. Hold up. Nah, that. I feel the only reason for somebody to care about Tape and Sugar Rush is headcanon and fan.
Nobody cares about Tape and Sugar Rush. They are so. I think Sugar Rush is low. I think Tape guy was pretty high in the the last popularity poll. You shouldn't care about them.
Oh, no.
Maybe care about them for their designs or whatever, but Sugar Rush, flat 0. Tape Guy, all I care about is tests or whatever. You are talking to the devil. This guy not 3 minutes ago when I am about to rule the whole entire world.
Who just took your buddy's arms?
That guy ain't got no arms. This guy with a thought could eviscerate you if you was just like test or whatever.
Sugar Rush is the dude in the orange suit with the big lips.
You don't even, he's,
Or yellow suit.
who doesn't know about, who's
Nightfall.
Sugar Rush? How you not know Sugar Rush? He's there, he's got sugar.
How do you feel about the condescending narration telling us what to think and feel and how deep and thematic everything is? I get it from Deku's perspective, but it just doesn't sound like him. It's very please clap. It's like holding up a sign and saying feel, laugh, cry, enjoy, think. And it's very heavy-handed with this approach, which I do not enjoy. I'm fine with some subtext. Now I understand Muvs, media literacy, y'all cooked, but we gotta allow for people to feel what they want to feel and not how you think they should feel based on your works. If you could make Gentle the main character, would you do it? No. Not for at least a manga of this length. If you want to give me a 20 chapter manga, sure. But for this, no.
Yeah, it's, he better in small doses.
Yeah. Thoughts on the My Hero Academia movies being canon? Stupid.
Yeah. Especially when it's just like these people have literally saved the world.
Wishing Star, like, why? Stupid. How many people gave All for One PTSD? Like 5. Stupid. Do you guys believe Horikoshi is bullshit? No.
In what way? Are you talking about in terms of the daddy was coming or him
that's
tired
bullshit.
or whatever? I don't know how much of this. It's always questioning when at the end of mangas where it's just like, especially when they're sick or tired or whatever, how much of this is what they wanted to do? How much is this are they forced to do? Because it's like I can't. I'm cooked. I can't be doing this forever.
Done here.
So I'm just shorthanding a couple things. You never know how much of that is there with the ends of manga. But he had 7 chapters of epilogue, and I was reading. I'm just like, this is wasted time in a couple of parts where they're out there moving trash and stuff. Like, fine. But then they just go, there's 2 pages of the first year students coming up and just like, we want to help too. It's just like, cut this. This does nothing.
We weren't taking your feelings into account. Please let us help.
This does nothing. Cut this. Put it someplace else.
It just seems to me that the incompetence level has 2 arcs where you explain that it's not good to destroy yourself, but then you have Bakugo say, nah, destroy yourself is cool. Shouldn't it be possible?
Yeah, it's because that was the entire point of the My Villain, not the My Villain, the Dark Deku arc was just like he's going too far, he's doing too much, he's doing it all by himself. But then they're just like Bakugo exploded himself all over 100 miles
Kilometers
to bite Kirigiri when anybody could have done it, and he got an ice slide. Cool.
Remember when the doctor was stressing over the singularity theory, the time when quirks become more powerful over time, yet over 8 years, no villains became a menace that was equal or surpassed?
Nothing. Don't introduce that if you're not going to do anything with it. And the one thing that you do with it is just you just going, yeah, all them fingers, that's what it is. It's him with just singularity is too strong. Okay?
What?
Stars and Stripes.
Yeah, that's not even a question.
Reality bending, I'm going to take the atmosphere. And then all one is just like, I've always wanted that. This has existed, and that was also part of my plan. No, it wasn't.
Do you think quirks fail as a power system? No, I think they're a fantastic power system. I think the way they were written fails, but I think the power system as a whole is great. It's very much a JoJo stance where you have this particular power and you have to work within that power.
It's all about what you do with it.
It's all about what you do with it. There's a headcanon in the fandom about Tokiyama Dark Shadow that it is his sister that he absorbed in the womb.
Shut up!
I wish it was
Shut
canon.
up! Suck my balls, all you dumb fan fiction cucks. Shut up. It is or it isn't. It's a theory. Who cares? He's a bird. He's got a shadow. I don't care.
He's finished. He's done with this. How is brainwash gonna help in that landslide? Stay home.
Sit down.
What are you doing here, buddy? Who is worse in My Hero Academia? Who is the worst hero in My Hero Academia, in your opinion?
Depends on what it turns to be a hero, because it turns to saving people, in terms of inspiring people. Because you've got Spray Bottle Man, which I'm like, who are you? Get out of here.
But then you have Hawks, who isn't really an inspiration to anybody, but he's powerful. He works in the shadows. He does his thing. Then you have someone like Lady Nagant, who kind of turned on heroes. Is she the worst hero? But in terms of long term, what we see, probably Headshot.
It might just be Endeavor prior to him becoming #1, because everything that he was doing was not to help people. Well, it was specifically to beat All Might.
How do you fix your villain hunting? I would show that there are 10 times more crimes to make Deku unable to eat and sleep to make sense. Deku stops a crime, and three more appear, and all the time Deku stops a murder, and 3 more appear, and all the other heroes are just like Deku. Apparently Deku has a statue along with his other classmates, so why is he a myth? Yeah, that's goofy. As far as the villain hunting or the hero hunting or whatever it was,
just don't have him leave the school. The school is the most secure place, and he's just like, I'm leaving for y'all safety. All For One has never gotten here before, so why are you leaving for their safety?
And it could have been a real like Bane situation, which is technically what happened, but it just didn't happen as well. Where Bane released a bunch of villains for Batman to fight to weaken him, so he could break his back. You all right?
Shut up!
Yeah,
shut up,
buddy.
Shut up!
And he could have released a bunch of villains for Deku to fight to weaken him, so he could go after him. Which is again kind of what he did, but not really. We're almost caught up. Do you guys believe Horikoshi is bull? You already asked that. What do you think of that scene of Deku and Shiggy punching All For One?
Horrible! Dude, you're mind punching this muff, and he just disappears. You and 6 other muff is just punching him in your mind, and then he just disappears.
It didn't just awaken me; it awakened everybody.
But you said once I slingshot him into your hole, you will all disappear. That was your point. He cannot use these quirks because we are going to destroy ourselves, widening his hole. That was the point. They're gone. We saw Shigaraki disappear.
What?
Why is he back?
Why? What is it about One for All that allows? What is the quirk that allows that? Because did Deku pass that quirk along?
That allows what?
The transference. Because he's throwing them one at a time.
The initial quirk was transferring and stockpiling.
So he threw all the stockpiles, but did he?
No. The stockpiling is the strength quirk, and that's how it gets stronger as it goes on and on and on. So it's transferring was his initial quirk, the brothers, and then he gave him a.
Okay, did he throw his brother?
No. Yes.
He had to.
Yes, absolutely. Yes.
But when? When did that happen?
It was. Don't you remember? It was just like he punched him, and then it was just like everybody's gone except for me, Nana Shiramura, because I've got this one thing to do to close out my character arc. They were all gone. They're just gone. Accept it, because you better.
If you change one thing about the ending, what would you change? Toga's still alive.
Toga's still alive, because that's the easiest thing to change without having to change so much around it. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Personal thing is just like a scene with Gentle explaining why he no longer wants to be a hero or a villain. It is just like cool with LaBrava. More LaBrava and Gentle stuff, obviously. But the easiest thing is just Toga's alive and we get a conversation. And she's just making the best of her prison life. And she's like, I've got friends in here. And it's just like, Maybe she does, maybe she doesn't. Maybe she's just lying to make Oraka feel better as Oraka is visiting her. It's just like she is keeping up her promise.
Opinion about the Wish's energy. The work, dude.
It is one of... It is pure Deus Ex Machina bullshit.
It was anti-Cook on that one.
It is anti-writing. You can be like, dang, I looked into the future and I guess I saw something wrong. And whoops. And that's in Night Eye could have just been lying on his deathbed and it's like, yeah, things really did change. People wished it hard enough and things did change. That's great. And that's his lie as he's dying. Like everything's gonna be fine. And that's his last thing to impart, just like a small lie is good to keep up the peace of people. That's fine, whatever. And then you just have these people just going, please, All Might, save All Might.
Please, Bakugo.
And presumably he wouldn't have if people weren't
wishing hard enough.
So what was the sequence of events that led Night Eye to see that thing where there wasn't the wishing energy? How was this always just not the initial future that he saw? What was the divergence that caused this to be like, oh, now he's saved? The people didn't... Bakugo is running up and then he catches them. It's just like, okay, that's the wishing energy stuff. In Night Eye's vision, he doesn't catch them and he's ripped apart on national TV. And for what reason was he not saved in that situation? And we just have to just go, well, he just wasn't. And now wishing energy, mutants didn't wish hard enough. The 15,000 of them to be like, I just don't want to be oppressed. I want to walk into this Subway and order a veggie melt because I can't eat pork because I'm a dumb pig person. I just want to do that without being kicked in my snout, my pig snout.
The life of the sludge villain must be miserable. Why is he not the mouthpiece of the revolution? And it would have worked a lot in bringing things back full circle, blah, blah, blah. Do you think Hori has lost his love for My Hero Academia?
Absolutely.
100%. Not even a question.
The manga grind is rough. And I can understand just wanting to get into it, idolizing people like Oda and Naruto and Bleach and all that stuff. And then once you finally get into it, it's just like, I'm not sleeping. I'm not seeing my family. I got people on my neck. I want to write this because the villain reveal thing was supposed to be back in the forest, but there were reader surveys that were just like, people ain't feeling this, wrap it up. So he couldn't get to the story that he wanted to tell because of the people.
Villain reveal?
Not the villain, the traitor.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it was supposed to be in the forest, but he couldn't tell the story that he wanted to tell because the pressure of the
Dragon
audience.
Instinct Goku,
And the editors.
Dragon Instinct Goku, Dragon Instinct Goku.
He lied. He just wanted Deku to die, but he didn't have enough with the wish energy. Thank you for the super chat. So,
and wish energy is so nebulous, and it just is what it is, and it's just like, well, it's happened.
What I mean is, in terms of Horikoshi, how Horikoshi put things that don't make any sense.
I think that he's just not a very good writer in sometimes the thing. He, like I said, he might have not had the time to do exactly what he wanted to because his back, his hands, his mind, whatever was cooked. So he just didn't have the time to do what he wanted to exactly. In which case, I feel for him. Whatever. I don't think he's bullshitting us in that case. But it could just be
2 hours.
It could just be purely that he is just a bad writer and he just ain't got the sauce.
Or he stopped liking his manga so much that he just stopped caring about putting that character.
Could have been the pressures of the people, how people want Bakugo and Deku to be together, what people want to see versus what they don't want to see. Maybe he wanted to tell a gripping story of the backstory of not Twice. Who's somebody that didn't really get a backstory? Tail Guy. Maybe he didn't want it to tell that story, but it's just like Tail Guy is number 83 in the popularity poll. People ain't gonna be feeling this, so I can't even tell.
Because you're not giving them nothing. Would you read Horikoshi's next work if he was only doing the art and not writing?
Yes,
absolutely.
Yes,
I'll read his horror manga if he ever makes that.
He can't write. Muff can't write.
Dude, we see that he can write. Gento's good.
Not enough. Few and far between.
The early My Hero might be still good. I don't know.
Might be.
I don't know. Hori, Deku, I'm taking your arms. Okay, you can have them back.
Next chapter. Here's this little girl's horn. Her whole story was about was about in her being mutilated and getting away from that to be happy, and then her conclusion is I'm gonna mutilate myself. Okay.
How did the originator of all One for All pass his quirk along if he was so killed by All for One?
They said it. All for One gave him a quirk that was just like, here's a quirk. It was stockpiling. He didn't know that he also had a transfer quirk, and he was looking at his hand when he died, and he was just like, yeah, I don't feel the quirk in here anymore, so it must be gone.
Yep, we already said that he did. Are you excited for that Pigman manga?
Who, what, where, when, why, who?
Which character had the potential to be good, but was wasted?
The expectations of Momo never really went anywhere. Especially when it was put on midnight, where it was just like, you can lead these people. And with the whole, I'm here by recommendation, never really went anywhere outside of the Todoroki thing that she had with him later.
Froppy.
Yeah, she didn't do anything, and she should have. She's been there. She's always been there for the Todoroki, the Toga stuff, but she's just been there. She hasn't really done anything.
Wasted. And she could be really good. We're gonna go till 4:15 if we don't catch up to these.
I've got my notes.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Oh, we're gonna go for these if we don't catch up to them because they're still going. Like what? So what happened to All Might's mother?
He said everybody that he knows is dead.
I read some interviews with Hori, and the man seems completely depressed.
Yeah, he's just like, it was like coming up to the end of the war arc. He was just like, I'm having nightmares about my manga getting canceled. It's just like, all right, dude, calm down.
I read who is better, Muzan or All for One?
Muzan.
Really?
I hate All for One.
I do too, but
he stinks.
Yeah, I understand that. He does. We'll probably get into that discussion someday. Maybe it'll be the first episode of our debate series. Who is the better written overall? Horikoshi? Who is the better writer overall? Horikoshi or Horikoshi?
Early Horikoshi. I subverted.
Or Horikoshi. You think the next series the mangaka does will be better? Yes. I think if he's allowed to just, if he gets that that Tagashi thing where I can just write when I want, what I want, where I want, how I want, I think it'll be much, much better. Remember Snipe, the gun hero?
Yes, and that's all you can say about him. He exists.
Do you think Horikoshi could have hired the writer of the Vigilantes to write his next manga and Hori did the art? Would it be great? Couldn't tell you because we haven't read Vigilantes yet, but I hear good things about Vigilantes. Fix Bakugo without changing too much of his character. He sees the things Deku is doing and he slowly starts to gain respect for him. Because for a long time, he recognizes immediately that Deku got All for One from All Might, or One for All from All Might. So all that anger he still has towards Deku is that All Might recognized Deku and not him. And then when All Might's power goes away, he hates himself for getting rid of All Might. But instead, it's actually a hatred to Deku. Because the beginning of the end was the transference of that power.
Easy fix. Make him a fan of Endeavor instead of All Might.
Oh, that would have worked.
And that fixes so much because he idolizes All Might but doesn't take any of his heroic traits into account. And make him Endeavor, the power hungry, I want to be number one at all costs, fixes so much. I like that. I'm glad I thought about that.
Final My Hero Academia rating.
3.
4? Final Arc is a 2. I'll have to reread it, obviously, but if that early stuff isn't as good as I remember, oh, it's going to be a problem. It's going to be a real problem. What exactly did One for All shove into the second user in order for his quirk to be transferred, given the specific mechanics of transfer?
Shut up. That's what he did. The shut up quirk. I did it.
I wish Hori did more with Moonfish. Who?
You and you both.
Nah, I meant Hirokoshi, the fairy tale writer. Horror or hero?
Horikoshi has a lot more high moments.
Oh, this is
the
me.
State of you.
Hey,
the state
we
of
both,
you.
we both,
the state.
We both did a little something.
Here,
Hirokoshi is who he is.
Yes, he is consistent like this, and then it will just edge out like this, where it's just like, I don't care about this, and it's just like this, and it's like, But Horikoshi was like, ooh,
and that hurts way more.
Yeah, but he had a lot higher highs, but he also had lower lows.
Best awful background quirk character.
The Lego head man.
Yeah. So why was Idea with all the fire users?
Why was Ida with all the fire characters? Because he needed to take Todoroki to the battlefield. There is literally no reason why. You can see they flash back to Octopus and Anima just going, we want to go here. That's fine. But they had to just either Ida wanted to go knowing that he'd be in trouble, or All Might or somebody sent him there knowing that he was in trouble, or he just stepped in and just hopped into a portal and just went, oh shit.
Why we hyped for Mark talking about Gentle?
You know the answer to that.
Oh no, I didn't even think about that.
He doesn't deserve it.
We don't get it here. Okay. Naruto War Arc or My Hero War Arc? What's better? Naruto.
The My Hero War Arc is potentially the worst arc of all time. Asterisk, Fire Force.
Quirk shut up the ability to shut up anyway. Give it to Bakugo or force it on Bakugo. Do you think people would be less upset about the ending if they confirmed Deku and Uraraka got together?
That's one of the many problems of the ending, and people would be less upset, but then there would be people that would be more upset because they wanted to see Deku with Froppy, or Deku with Bakugo, or Deku with Ida, or Deku with Jiro. There would be people who are upset, and there would be people that are happy. This satisfies no one other than the people who will continue to theorize in their heads that they did get together. There is no proof that they didn't, so you are welcome to say that they did. Neck. As opposed to them going hard, no, he got together with Froppy, so there is no Uraraka and Deku stuff. This is maybe he got together with Froppy.
I'm still waiting for one more arc for Deku to get One for All. He enters the UA through his intelligence and power, and then All Might gives him power. What do you think? That would have been fine. How or why many animals did Sun Eater eat to make his super angle mega cannon gun arm?
He just did it. And
yep, octopus and all this stuff. All right, we're all caught up. It's time for his notes. I'm gonna turn on all the stuff again.
Kind of flies in the face of you can be a hero in your own way. The ending, it flies in the face of that by just going, you can be a hero in your own way, like the course that we're recording. They're being heroes in their own way, and that's what they're doing. They can't do whatever, they can't fight and all that stuff, but they're spreading the word, which is what the publicity course is. That's what they're supposed to be. Deku was being a hero.
Course, I think
Deku was being a hero in his own way by being a teacher, but then he just gets the suit, so that just sort of spits in the face of. He could have. I wrote he could have denied the suit because anyone could be a hero if they just reach their hands out. He could be like, I'm already a hero. But no, he wants to be a what they call capital H hero, which also by the end of the thing is just like, we should have multiple ranks for like firefighters or police officers. It's like, don't you think that'd be causing a problem if a firefighter is just like, dang, I'm dropping in the ranks because I can't fight no fires.
How about this? Some of this crack.
This is just random thoughts that I couldn't really fit anywhere. I liked Mineto's one moment of don't take Dark Shadow, take my quirk.
Yeah.
But it is a superficial I like this because there is no relationship between those two. If he had known that he was persecuted by Black Shadow, or Black Shadow was his only friend and his confidant, or whatever it is to make him plead to not take it, that would be more impactful.
Yes.
So in a bubble, I like it because he's just like, you get a cool
Jay
hairstyle
says,
like mine. That's all
who's
that
a better
he
villain,
can
the third
do.
Hokage or AFO?
I'm not gonna answer that. Yeah, like I said, the other way is because LaBrava is also recording and she's spreading the message that way. But All Might, he just goes, there's another way for me to be a hero. One of these. Okay, yeah. I wrote, is it better or worse that Miracle doesn't have a backstory? I kind of want one, but it doesn't. I don't want one to feel like an obligation like Nejire, who was just like, I'm sad, now I'm happy.
y'all help me. And
Ed shot. So I talked it out and I was like, nah, it's fine. They go, warp is a rare quirk. They just randomly say that. What does that mean?
what's a common quirk?
Okay. Chapter 326. The girl wiping off the All Might statue is a good concept, but all it is motivation. She's not a character. There's nothing there. It's just like, look, people still do believe in you. And that's all it is. Not really a thing before, not really a thing after. Stain giving him a paper telling him, come here to kill me, the hero killer Stain, doesn't amount to anything. Why would he do that? It wasn't coordinated to kill him, and he meets him again. He's like, it was nothing about come kill me or anything like that. Chapter 327. What is the reason for Uraraka to fall asleep
Sebastian
after her
says,
big speech?
are you guys going to watch the racism episode because it just started? Smirk.
No. What is the reason for Uraraka to fall asleep instead of having the conversation that they had chapters later, right there?
Yeah, nah, so what's up?
What's the reason? There's literally no reason. It's not like delayed gratification. It doesn't make it more impactful that they have the conversation later. Nothing. It just makes no sense. They go, we have the doctor in custody. We used the polygraph test to drag out Shigaraki's growth rate. Mind control guy who just trained this quirk because they quite clearly earlier said, your quirk, you cannot force people to talk. And then he just goes, yeah, but I trained it and now I can.
I hope you accepted it.
I hope you accept that. That's that shorthand of
fucking words.
I have this thing that I want to do, and it is here, right now. I have that I want to do. How do I get here? Well, he just trained this thing. He couldn't combine two different quirks, two different people with two different quirks. No, just a brainwashed dude and somebody else who can like mimic and force people to talk. Nothing like that. It had to be him and just like, I trained it. He does it once, never again. It's done. All Might talks about how Shiggy and All For One share thoughts because of the consciousness residing in the quirk.
Gamer F5 says, the mutant hate thing is so stupid and forced. Imagine if in the X-Men we don't learn about mutant hate until 50 issues in.
Yo, crazy bars.
All Might was able to send his thoughts to the spiritual form, but he wasn't able to receive the thoughts until the moment that he was for some reason. There was a 3-day limit to when Shigaraki would be completed. It's just false tension. And all that was just like, oh no, here he comes. And then all Stars and Stripes was there to do was simply to just lengthen that time limit. Just don't have the time limit. Lazy, shadowy politics when they were just like, oh, the United States and all that stuff. And I counted 37 people in that shadowy room that we don't know. They don't matter there other than the reasons why overseas heroes aren't here.
Yeah.
It's so lazy to be like, these people don't matter, such that they are all in shadows, but they're affecting the entire world. Why aren't there overseas heroes in the dozens, hundreds? Because these shadowy people going the paperwork. I hate that bullshit. 2 foreign heroes are upset that they can't go over and help because of bureaucracy. This would have been stronger with Stain's message of these people aren't really heroes because they're behind red tape. They're not going to where people are needed, where help is needed. They're only going when they're pointed, and now you go. That's more of Stain's message. It's a cool visual for Stars and Stripes to be up there on the jets, but how is she up there?
She warped reality. I can be
no, because her strength quirk is always activated.
Yep.
And she has other she can only do two things. She has a strength quirk always activated, and then she'll be like the atmosphere around Shigaraki disappears. Yep. So she has those two activated. How is she up there?
On a jet.
It's a cool visual, but it makes literally no sense. Horikoshi really thought he was cooking in the beginning of the Stars and Stripes fight.
J_is gay, aka Beak Sleeper, says, "For no reason, I can't unsee that spinner looks like a Ninja Turtle."
I think that was the point. But Sugar, the first thing that he says in the fight with Stars and Stripes is, "Huh, this is weird. I'm not really feeling like Shigaraki today." And then in that same chapter, New World does not work because he's not Shigaraki. That's that old Horikoshi flim flam of introduce a thing in the beginning of the chapter, pay it off at the end. Stars and Stripes in the middle of her fight is just yelling her entire origin story and why she styles her hair the way that she does. Because there's no time. Foot to the pedal, she's dead in 4 chapters. Who's calling me? Don't call me.
Stop calling me. It's a shame we weren't introduced to Stars and Stripes earlier and other overseas sooner so they can have roles to play in the future. Because then they're like, send all our heroes over. What heroes? Oh.
So the quote was, she can impose a rule on inanimate objects which have an identity by calling out their name, but the object must also recognize themselves by that identity.
That's goofy.
It's so stupid. So if she doesn't know Japanese and she goes chair, that does the chair...
Suck my dick. That's my request to you.
Would a, cat be able to fall under her rule? Because did the cat recognize his name as Pharaoh?
And we don't have those answers because it's all
Sebastian
theoretical
says,
stuff that Shingy says.
One time I was having a discussion about Sugar Rush and about how he was a nothing character and someone said they liked him. I wanted to kill myself.
You can't.
It's impossible to like him.
Like what? What's there to like?
I forgot how big of a speed run this is. We have to care about the pilots, so we get 2 panels of 2 pages of Stars and Stripes backstory with these are our brothers. Because in this chapter, she has to die to protect them. So we need to establish she likes these people. Here's the backstory. This is why she doesn't sacrifice, because she was just like, smush me in the big cloud hands and kill Shigaraki. But she's not, because she likes these people, as evidenced by these 2 pages in the beginning of a chapter that pays off something in the last couple pages of this chapter.
But does she even need that? Why can't she just not want to kill innocent people? Why can't she just be a person going, I'm not gonna sacrifice you for Sugar to take out a villain?
Stars and Stripes punch once or twice. What was the point of super strength?
To have it. All might. It's drunk.
All for One's plan, because he rules all the criminal organizations around the world, not in Japan, because they just went, All Might is screwing me over in Japan. But all over the world he runs.
There's nobody else.
His plan was to make a ruckus overseas so that they would slow down the sending of heroes to Japan, which was not the reason why they gave to send the heroes to Japan.
Yep.
So that his body could be completed, so that he could, in this order, because he says it in this order, complete the body, steal One for All, and then take New Order. That was his plan.
Yep.
New Order was the end goal after he got his old body and everything. After his brother. He needed to be complete to get New Order. New Order will revolt against the other quirks. Not New Order will explode the brain of the user in 1 minute. Or New Order will mentally paralyze its user in 1 minute. It is such a dumb specific thing that she had to do when she could have done so many other things to disable him. But it's just like, it's gonna rebel. How do you know that's gonna work or not?
And then when it rebels, when is it going to rebel? Because it rebels at the
Sebastian
best
says,
moment.
I will die on this hill. If Stars and Stripes actually had development and did not die, she would be top 5 characters.
There's a lot of things to like about her, but there's things that she could have done. It's just like, it's going to revolt. So she would have to know that the quirks are not just fused into One for All already, or All for One already, and they couldn't be destroyed.
Like there's consciousness of the quirk users.
So her plan is stupid, but it was purely just so.
But it worked?
No, it took out like 3 quirks. 3 quirks that we never saw.
Oh, I thought part of the rebelling was when All for One is just like the rebelling from Jiro.
No, that was
just some nonsense,
yes.
I guess.
Yeah, it was a mistranslation. It was just like even Stars and Stripes couldn't do this couldn't make them rebel.
Goofy.
Yes.
That's even worse. Yeah,
the only thing that she did was made the hole. Which could have just always been there.
Man pointed it out. It's right there. All Might, the whole. I wanted to say this while I was alive.
Stars and Stripes almost destroyed from fighting the other quirks, but then Jiro later causes all the quirks to rebel against All for One. So why didn't they do it here? Why didn't they just peacefully go instead of fighting back? The quirks fought back against her, but then they fight back later against one. The Visage mind boys. She says she destroyed a bunch of quirks, but what were they? And it doesn't matter when he's got unlimited number of quirks to grab from. It's not like,
it would have been great if it was hyper regeneration that was destroyed or something like that, but no, it's just nameless quirks essentially.
These are quirks that we have seen once or twice. It is no real consequence if they're gone.
It would have been great if it was a quirk that he tried to use against Bakugo that he thought he had, and he flashed back to Stars and Stripes destroying it and forgot about it.
Or if he just took out Decay. The jet pilot man goes, our jets have a record of the battle and we can measure his biological processes and have a board analysis of his quirk. I'm sure this data will prove valuable.
And that, what?
What? He's just yapping.
Blood is truly just spitting.
All Might goes, it is impossible to tell how many quirks Shigaraki has, but it's clear that a considerable amount was destroyed. He has no way to know this information.
So many are gone.
A big number minus another big number. Please clap. We're on our way to victory.
I don't know how many he had, but he lost like 200.
Trust me, bro.
Right, but if he has 4 million, that's not really.
Tail guy goes, we have all been training. He just looks at the camera and says
Gentle
that.
was the MVP of this arc.
Gentle's the MVP of any arc he's in.
What
can you train, Ojiro? You have a tail.
Karate.
You already do karate.
Shigaraki was writhing on the floor, and One for All goes, our quirk factor was damaged, but you'll be able to use it again soon. Whatever that means.
Cool. Cool.
The traitor reveal. In the midst of high security, they go in the middle of the woods and loudly yell about all the things that they've gone through, how they became traitors, and their motivations. Not a care in the world that anybody's around. None of them even have any sort of observation quirk. So they're just yelling where people can and did hear them.
How did they not get caught before?
How? Yelling about how you feel in a situation isn't emotional. Belly button is just going, when I did this, I was scared. When I saw this, I felt scared. It's like, that's nothing.
Ayama.
Whatever. I forgot that they were yelling long enough for Invisible Girl to hear them.
Hakakure.
Go and get Deku. Convince him to come back there. Deku to come back there. And then when he got back there, they were still yelling. She
remember
recognized
that
the
part.
situation like, hey, yo, them moms is traitors.
Yo, they yapping.
Only got Deku, came back, and they still like, and furthermore, when we leaked all of these secrets,
I can't believe they don't recognize you're the traitor.
you, our son, Aoyama,
You didn't have a quirk, and we're gonna say it all again, just in case somebody missed it.
everybody up to speed. Aoyama shoots a laser at Deku. Deku gets the danger sense, activates One for All. Invisible Girl somehow gets in front of him and reflects the laser. It's
She
all
can be
for
in
the
light.
sake. No, she gets in front of him with danger sense and One for All. It's all for the sake of a moment.
Yeah.
And that's a lot of what In My Hero is.
Yeah. It's the WWE of the manga.
Nagant had a bomb in her. They don't have bombs in her, but they're watched all the time. They go, if we go to the police station, we'll be killed as we leave the police station.
Okay, but then the police know at least.
Yes. But they're I guess they're just cowards. We don't know because we don't know these characters.
Characters.
But obviously he couldn't see everything that they're doing because he needs them as an informant. So how does he know that they're telling people? He could have just walked up to the principal and just like, hey, yo, I'm a traitor over here. No matter what the circumstances, the fact that he helped All for One remains unchanged, the cop says. No matter what the
Sebastian
circumstances.
Create the worst manga, worst artist, worst editor, worst author.
We can do that later.
Yeah, we'll do it for homework.
But he goes, no matter what the circumstances is, he cannot be forgiven. Just that.
Is Chris here?
No.
Sorry, you're gonna have to be yapping for a second. We got
That's fine.
packages, and I'm not getting my stolen.
I wonder that must suck. I wonder how that feels.
Yes, well.
I thought you were going that way.
Yeah, no, there's not space for that.
The class yelling about trusting them and stuff means nothing because we haven't seen them interact. I don't know how Kirishima felt about him, but he starts yelling about not blaming Belly Button Man. 3 out of 4 people know about the past and they're just yelling about it. Legitimately, it's just, they're yelling all the stuff that we already all know. You were born without a quirk and so you must do it. It's so lame. That's more of the, this is not writing stuff that I talk about a whole lot. I need to get to this point where he is found out to be the traitor. How do I do that? His parents loudly yell about him being the traitor in wide open earshot while they're all being protected. Who gives a about Invisible Girl? People do. I talked about the Hatsume thing and making the gauntlets. How'd you get such a big gimmick?
Take what?
A big hard drive.
For Plex.
Oh, makes sense. Toga flashes back to her parents going, we did everything, but it wasn't enough. This girl is a demon child. Horikoshi thinks that's enough to make you believe that they did everything that they could. They've done nothing. In chapter 342, Todoroki Ida, Kirishima Bakugo.
Did it show the address? Might have showed the address when I walked back.
The state of you.
Unbelievable.
But they're all in the room
We're
talking.
moving soon. Who cares?
They're all in the room talking. Don't know why they're only those 4 in the room. Kirishima says absolutely nothing in that in the entire stretch of the conversation. Todoroki wants to know his confirmed killer brother what his favorite food is, and he wants to go to dinner with them. And I go, there's a limit to nature versus nurture and all of that. He needs to be dealt with because his whole thing is about revenge. He doesn't want to stop until he gets revenge. Toga can be talked down because there's something mentally wrong with her. As opposed to him, he's just like, this guy f***ed me up and he needs to die. And there is no, I want to go to dinner with this guy. Aoyama is free. Deku asks why he's free and Aoyama goes, my parents' lawyers had me acquitted.
That's correct.
The legal system in the war times.
That's correct. They ain't got time for traitors. There's murders happening.
They say to Monoma, this is the most important role of the fight, though, the warp and the eraser abilities.
Yep.
And all he gets is a statue at the end. I think that is absolutely bullshit.
What else does he need?
So much.
He was really the hero of the arc. Most is dead without him. Just dead.
As soon as Shiggy gets his quirk disabled, he pulls out the finger. Why not give a chapter or two of him on the back foot and then him then awakening when his body sensed the danger? Now it's just like, dang, we still gotta wait for Deku. A lot more could be done.
That's My Hero as a whole.
I talked about the quirk singularity thing. Yep. Malice or not, Danger Sense should work. Would Danger Sense not work on a burning building or a falling rock? Because they're just like, he can't dodge her because there's no malice.
Yeah, there's only love.
But if the knife comes in contact with you, that will do harm. So it seems like a really dumb, arbitrary thing of just like, this is why it's not working. Toga has the strength and speed of an average person. Uraraka was giving her...
that can't be right. Danger Sense. Unless the blood was the malice. Because he threw the blood at him inside of his cape. It's gotta be the blood had malice in it or something.
Had to be. Toga has the average strength and speed of an average person. Uraraka was giving her a fight hand to hand. Why is 45% Deku with Black Whip, Fajin, and Float not instantly putting her down? All they can say is Danger Sense is not working.
Gunhead martial arts.
It makes no... but this is for the sake of the story.
Of course.
They wanted the conversation to happen between Deku and Toga. They wanted Deku to be removed from the battlefield. They wanted the Toga versus Uraraka fight to happen. And the only way for all of those things to happen is for Deku to not instantly put her down for some reason. And it just makes no sense. Literally what is Ida doing there is lazy because he just takes Todoroki to the battlefield against Dabi. One of Endeavor's sidekicks goes, I can control the trajectory of almost anything, including hot air. What does that mean? Chapter 350. Dabi is sleeping for 3 years after his burning up. Mm-hmm. He's hooked to a single IV. Mm-hmm. He instantly gets up and starts moving around. No muscle atrophy, no nothing.
Yep. No rehab of your...
Within 4 pages, the doctor says your body has gotten weaker, and he showcases none of that.
And he's supposed to, even before that, he's supposed to die within like a year when the past happened. It's just like...
The quirk doctor said that Dabi shouldn't live a month, but he is kept alive by the flames of hatred. An actual quote. Whatever that means. Why is he so popular?
Because he's hot and awesome.
Cold Fire is just some bullshit.
Oh, of course.
The only thing that the sidekicks did was protect Todoroki once or twice. There was no reason why 4 different sidekicks were there. They did nothing. They were an active hindrance.
I wouldn't go hindrance, but they weren't an asset.
All for One shot a blast intended to take down the number 2 hero in Hawks. Jiro perceives the attacks, gets there before the attack, shoots her wall before the blast hits Hawk, and it actually stops it. A blast from just some random girl was able to stop the strongest person in the world actively wanting to take out the number 2 hero. And it just works. All of these things need to happen.
It's actually the worst.
We have not seen this level of strength come from her. Ever. And now she just does this. And I wrote, it makes All for One look weak. Imagine if Akainu went to punch Whitebeard and Mr. One stopped the attack. It's like Mr. One is strong, but he's not stopping Akainu. That just makes him look stupid. Quirk Rebellions, grand opening, grand closing. By not explaining anything, you can do anything with the concepts. Quirks rebel out of nowhere, but they can be quashed by All for One eating the spirits or whatever happened for him to stop the rebellion. And it's never brought up again.
Doesn't need to be.
It was just to weaken him in that moment so that Jiro could live.
Correct. Please clap.
So in the beginning of the fight, they go, this is strategically to warp people where they are most advantageous to fight people.
Yep.
That was the whole
Probably
plan.
goes near water.
Yes. Kamui Woods is fighting next to Endeavor. Why? He has one listed weakness, and it is fire. Don't say that, or don't have him there.
One or the other.
Jiro was barely able to see a casual attack by All For One because it slices near her and she goes, dang, I barely saw that. But Bakugo, with a mass of hands, dirt, and dust, and Shigaraki fighting Mirio, that was when he got injured and pushed away. He was able to, Mirio, who was able to one-shot all of Class 1A. So it's established that Mirio is very fast, so he's having a very fast fight with Shigaraki. He sees it and perceives it, and then makes a plan to fight against him because he's just like, oh, the left index finger, and he's analyzing that. And it's just like Jiro could not see him in her best condition, but Bakugo in one of his worst conditions, fighting against a stronger opponent, a super fast opponent, can do all of that when he's got one eye. It's just like,
I failed to see the issue here.
I also failed to see the issue.
Bakugo better.
Nejire's sad backstory was, I was sad and now I'm happy.
You came up and talked to me. I did like Sun Eater. Thumbs. I love Sun Eater.
Sun Eater's great. Horikoshi introduced things simply to have them exist or as emotional weights. At the end of the fight, at the end of the story, Bakugo should have asked earnestly All Might to sign his card.
Yes.
Because in the Vestige realm, he's just like, I never got you to sign my card. And that amounted to absolutely nothing. But nothing happened. Because he had the quirk. Because the movies are canon.
Yeah, the movies are canon.
Yeah, boy, they're canon. But there was no follow-up at that.
Why did he never have the Embers then?
Maybe he did. Deku goes, he only has a little bit of embers because he didn't have it for as long. So with Bakugo having it for only a minute, maybe that was he did having it and it dissipated.
It feels very much like the card thing is very much akin to the Avengers, where Coulson died and here's the cards, and that's the emotional moment there.
It's the emotional motivation in the moment, but But it was also super important to him because when he was revived, it shows him having the card. So he still wanted it on his person, but there was nothing there. Cause I rewrote it just like little things. Cause Bakugo, All Might, when he gives him the gauntlets, All Might goes, I'm sorry I couldn't give more to you. And I was just like, it would have been good if he just goes, give me an autograph later. And that was him asking.
Settle for an autograph.
Because he genuinely smiles and people, oh, look at that. And that's all it was.
He's reformed. He's changed.
But that would have been something. Dabi goes, just before you buried me in ice, I copied your cold fire. Todoroki had been using ice for all of his life, and Dabi in desperation awakened quirks and copied it. Yeah, I talked about that. Yeah. They cut to America and a shadowy man goes, according to reports from our specialized agency for quirks. Literally said on the page, chapter 364.
Okay.
They say Tomura has reached a point beyond human control. In other words, no matter what happens to him, he's untouchable. They have one piece of battle information from the Jets and 5 minutes of him fighting from what they're seeing. This is not world building. I'll become his heart. The last 3 pages, I'll become his heart. For some reason, the number 5 hero, who has infinitely more battle experience, decides to sacrifice himself for a kid who did no damage and wouldn't be able to do anything if he was even able to get up. Not discounting the whole dirt in his chest wounds and all that stuff. Discounting all this stuff with this dumb, I'm gonna become his heart bush. Best Genius knows exactly what he's doing. Is you can't come back from this. Ed Shot goes, I've been in people's bodies, so I know all about them. That is enough.
That is
we
a
are
dumb thing. That is
we
dumb.
are moving on.
That is so fucking stupid.
Oh, but Horikoshi, what about all the dirt and blood and stuff? Never fear, he has a bubble for wash. For some reason, that stayed intact for hours and perfectly disinfects him.
On contact.
On contact. It's a good thing
because it has to cleanse his body too. It can't just cleanse what's in Bakugo and all that. It has to cleanse his body.
It's also a good thing that Best Genius is an accomplished heart surgeon because he had already sutured up his heart a little bit and quickly and precisely stitched up his heart with bloody and non-disinfected denim in the middle of battle where Shigaraki a few chapters before said that Best Genius was done and couldn't even fight anymore. So he already has dirt and all this grime in his chest.
It's
but then he's just
scam.
like, oh, I'm gonna wash myself so I can suture his heart. You've already shown that Best Genius tried and he didn't do it unless he did. In which case, oh, Wash just gave him 2 bubbles. Why did Wash give him the bubbles? For what purpose?
Yeah, did he expect Airshot to have to do this?
I hate that the only reason that Miracle was able to do damage is because Bakugo scared Shiggy, and that lasting shock is still there. I hate the reason that Bakugo's scared of Shiggy is because All For One is scared of Bakugo, and I hate that Bakugo All For One is scared of Shiggy because he's just reminded of a dude that stood up to him once.
The eyes.
Chapter 366. Why doesn't anyone else evolve to deal with threats that is faced? He's got offense and defense with the fingers.
What do you mean? Hitchcock birds.
Uraraka got the ability to float a bunch of stuff without touching it. Mm-hmm. She didn't get a gravity shield or a gravity spear or anything like that. And
or the ability to like direct her floating.
And Shigaraki already got the ability to decay just one thing to anything that he touches and then anything that touches as well, just like a chain. So he already got a quirk awakening. Oh. Now he's got that. Horikoshi just be saying stuff. Understanding of gear shift spread throughout every cell of Deku's body.
Hi, Ghost Moon.
And now it packs enough punch to bend the laws of physics. Actual quote. Gang Orca. So at the beginning
I never really got gear shift. I never really got it.
It's strong. It's whatever. It's
fast.
But in the beginning of the arc, they go, here are our big name targets. We got Todoroki, we got Dabi, we got Shiggy, we got what's her name? Toga. We got Toga, and he's got like 5 super strong Nomu. Gang Orca goes to essentially one-shot a high-end Nomu by himself. And then they just yell that the number of villains is still thinning out. Is there a reason to bring so many no-name heroes and so many no-name villains if they're just going to fight off screen and nothing happens? It just makes the war feel bigger without really doing anything about it.
I'm surprised Uraraka never unlocked the ability to change the mass of a target, like make them heavier and stuff. That could be interesting.
Froppy breaks the vow of what she thinks is twice his blood, and then Toga just goes, no, that was actually a pheromone that attracts Nomu.
Here comes the
Why
Nomu.
didn't you just spray that on Deku? This was never established.
Why wasn't it just sprayed everywhere?
Why the not? Why doesn't everybody have that?
Every one of them should have a vial. Why was it given to Toga?
Is there only one quirk jail? General's crime were misdemeanors at best, a felony at worst. Murderers, malicious people as soon as they got out that are just like, I can't wait to kill again. And he's up in there with him, with all of them.
And he beat them all.
He's so good.
He's just sitting at the front, waiting for them to come.
Good. But I wrote, in our world, there are maximum and minimum security prisons.
Yeah.
It's essentially a marijuana charge that he's in there with serial killers.
And he's at Rikers Island.
Shigaraki hid the core of himself deep within himself so that All For One wouldn't realize it.
But then All For One does the exact same thing. And they can just take over and suppress the other one?
All for One senses all of Shigaraki's rage and his thoughts and stuff, but for some reason couldn't sense this. How is he burying himself in a physical item inside of his mind? Because he's in there with a bunch of fingers. What is he doing to accomplish this? I don't know what this means for Shigaraki to overpower the vestige of All for One when he just hops out of them. And I don't know what this means, if he's stronger, if he outnumbered it. Was it difficult? Was it a sneak attack? It's a less important moment because I don't know the logistics of it. He just did it. La Brava made it so that the whole world saw Geno holding up U8 and amounted to basically nothing. The dumb meat boy goes, All for One killed my father and I want revenge.
Meat boy?
The dude that can make meat, big old meat.
Oh, okay.
He just rocks up with the wind guy and he just goes, he killed my father and I want revenge, but you guys can handle it. It's a nothing motivation. Doesn't make the story better or worse. Doesn't inform his character. Doesn't make us care about the fight anymore. And he's not seen but one other time after this. His dad was a prison guard when the breakout happened. Cool. Tokoyami and Horikoshi's patented one panel backstory tells us nothing, does nothing. Using so much acid that melts Gigantomachina's body will take a lot out of her. This is what Mount Lady says. How does she know this? It was never stated nor shown.
And does it take a lot out of her?
Never stated nor shown that it takes a lot out of her. And then they just go, oh no, you're dehydrated. Never mentioned, never brought
Red
up.
Riot's holding up, paid you back. You were always they use My Hero so liberally in this art.
Why you think that is?
So
did we really need a history of the Ice family? Is more pretending like he's doing world building, and only purpose was to explain the Mama's Ice, introduced and paid off in the same chapter.
Yep.
Dabi's mind is gone, but for some reason is back, and presumably for the opposite reason that it was gone. When people sense death, this is a quote. When people sense death, they can have a quirk awakening, but also people can get really strong when they're about to die, but that's different from a quirk awakening. Narratively, what is the purpose of giving Dabi ice, other than the fact of Endeavor was always wrong?
And yeah, this is the true masterpiece.
I talked about the robots and how they were able to get to it. Neither have experience, but are able to reach the super hot fire.
You are my hero.
Ida is running, and he goes, "This is as far as I can go." And
why?
Because they show his engines on his legs are blown apart, but I guess they're fine in the future. But he goes, "Thanks to you, I'm becoming the person that I want to be." He might as well have yelled, "My story arc is complete."
Her eye truly did change, and I was wondering if that was like a blood clot that just changed.
And she got lighter. The resolution for Todoroki's family fight is a theme ending. They all come to help the family, and they're all together. He's using electricity to interfere with my regen. Never established. Makes no sense.
And never used again.
Never used again. I wanted to fight one more time, so I came up with this suit, is what All Might says. All Might has been out of commission for less than a year, but Deku and made that suit. So he had all that time. In less than a year, he made that suit.
The only thing I can give you that potential grace is he started commissioning the suit the second
that he realized that he was cooked.
Yeah. Because he was already heading to give the quirk to Muriel, so it's just like, oh no, I'm losing it even without giving this up. Let's try to get something going for the future.
He does a Sugar Man kick, and I got a clip from the Wikipedia that explains what happened there. All Might attaches a rocket thruster extension to his armor over one leg and uses it to accelerate his kick for a heavier impact. Does Sugar Man use jets? I don't think he does.
That is just a strong.
That is just a strong kick.
What's different between that and when he uses shoot style?
What? Indeed. He has to use all of them. All Might injects him with acid. Why doesn't he also shock him since that messes with
He
his
doesn't
region?
know.
No, this is after.
Yeah, but he didn't say it out loud.
Yes, he did.
Oh. All Might didn't hear it.
All Might, I mean, Aoyama versus the Seed Man fight was completely worthless.
Worthless? Who are you?
It wasn't a redemption. It wasn't, neither had a grudge against each other. He wasn't pushed to the limit.
It would have
and
been
unlocked
different if
something
it
new.
was like his handler throughout the whole thing. But
Or
no.
who he reported to give the
Yeah, that's
traders
handler.
information.
Yeah, do that.
Sebastian says, MHA racism shit made me appreciate Fishman Island so much more and made me realize how good the Fishman racism is.
It's true racism. They show it all through the.
Aoyama, his ideals wasn't challenged. Nothing was gained. Nothing was lost by that. So All Might has birds that are part of his anima for that, and he also has that drone
birds.
And he also has that drone laser strike. None of that has to do with the suit. Why aren't they just flying around town?
Hitchcock birds.
All Might's earphone jack is just a very loud speaker.
Yeah, but it was earphone jack. We saw what her speaker can do. Stopped All for One. Why wouldn't he have that?
You are correct.
Jesus Christ, this is a nitpick.
They are so wishy-washy on All for One having the ability to sense people. Stain sneaks up on them. The best that you could say is that he's focused on All Might, but if they brought 3 other people to that All Might fight and just jumped him, he would have been defeated.
Yeah.
But he has the ability to sense people through one of the Wild Wild Pussycats abilities.
Whoa.
He has his the quirks that he's been using to sense people because he doesn't have eyes, he can't hear things. He has all those things, and Stain just sneaks up on him. Stain luckily has the ability to differentiate blood smells.
It ain't All Might.
All for One knew that Stain was up to something since the prison break, so he either found a blood expelling and composition change quirk in the space of a few months and waited for this moment instead of putting in all APB to kill Stain or finding him to take his quirk. Stain was beaten by a 5% Deku and a few hero trainees. He could have taken out Stain.
Did Stain stop killing heroes?
He was in jail.
No, when he got out.
I don't know. It was either that, he always had it, or he always had the quirk for some reason. But he always had the quirk just in case.
Of course.
But he didn't want to take Best Genius quirk. But he did have some random blood expelling quirk.
Yeah, you never know when you gotta get rid of your blood. Yeet that shit.
Denim everywhere.
Yeah, you can suture a heart, but why would I need that? Yeet the blood.
All for One says that ruling from the shadows means leaving no trace. But when was he out there doing stuff that would cause him to bleed? Other than telling Shiggy to pipe his wife.
Make sure she ragging, that's the best time.
Even if he does bleed a bunch and they trace it back to him, then what? He's super strong.
What would they even measure it against or for? Like, let's say that, oh, this was the work of all for One. Okay, what do we do with that information? Can we locate him? Is there anything we can do? No, we just know he did it. All right.
All for One goes, losing all that blood made me cool my head down.
Yeah.
He just be saying
He was hot-headed. And now the blood has rushed past his head. Now he's cooled down.
Stain was 11 pages, did nothing.
No, he did.
All Might's car blocks his big blast, and he goes, "Live, All Might."
Yeah, the car.
Why does his
sentient.
car have feelings for him? How are we
Because it
supposed
was
to
from
feel
the American
about this?
person. So
how are
she
we supposed
wrote
to
the
feel
AI
about this car
She
that
wrote
we've
the
only
AI
seen since the
that
last
would-
2 arcs
Pizza
that
State
was
says,
just like
Say-
All for
live?
One, finally I have the ultimate quirk. The ability to reshuffle my blood.
Yes, finally. This is all I ever wanted. The world is so messed up. All Might has been the biggest hero for decades. He sacrificed all of his powers to take down a threat that has been silently looming for at least a century. And in less than half a year, people are defiling his statue. And he's about to be ripped in half. And one person just goes, "Oh, shucks, I don't want All Might to die." I do not understand that.
Flight of fancy. Fickle. People are fickle. People are fickle.
I like Deku screwing himself up by using Gear Shift again specifically to save All Might.
Yep.
I think that speaks to.
I love the whoever was second or whatever. Just like
he saw his vestige form, and he was just like, "All right,
I know what's coming here.
There's no point in talking to you.
You're gonna do it."
Bakugo is flying towards All Might, and Shiggy just goes, "He won't make it in time." And I understand anime time and all that stuff, but
how did he make it in time?
You can say that All For One is enjoying slowly killing All Might, but he recognized that Shiggy was near and ignored him when he was flying towards All Might. He's obsessed with All Might so much that he can't see his goal, or he doesn't recognize. Is he so obsessed with All Might that he can't see his goal right in front of him, which is Shigaraki? Or does he recognize that All Might is important, but also knows that he has his goals? He doesn't hear nearly a dozen explosions and somebody coming at him at Mach 3.
Yep.
The obsession doesn't make sense. Kill him and be done with it. The speed that Bakugo was going when he caught All Might should have been annihilated.
Yeah, broken in half. I have killed All Might.
Whoops. But yeah, that's inertia. Doesn't make sense. Come on.
Didn't protect his head or nothing.
Good thing Bakugo didn't bleed everywhere. Otherwise, he'd be instantly caught by the blood quirk. Good thing, huh?
Yeah. Why wouldn't he cut Bakugo? And
he was spewing blood everywhere.
Yeah, why wouldn't he just lick his blood?
Great question.
Yeah, so we were talking about all that goop, but he could have just licked his blood and immobilized him. But then it would have just been, "Oh, the quirk doesn't stop just because." Yeah, Whiplash, like it's his neck is finished.
Destroyed. All Might is dead. How does a bead of sweat fix an exploding? How does a bead of sweat exploding in his heart fix it?
It caused it to beat again.
I guess it was good that it was a small explosion that didn't open up his chest.
Yep. Or explode his heart.
All Might says that the nanotech isn't working as it should be anymore, but it will work as a splint. It nanotechs onto his arm, so I guess it is working.
Yep.
Edge shot. This is specifically used as a splint, All Might says. But Edge shot, as he comes out of Bakugo's body, goes, he fixed all of his broken bones and his organs, and those repairs won't come unraveled, Edge shot says.
But here's
a splint for your arm.
And then later on, it's just like, I don't know if you can use that arm anymore.
With All For One's backstory, I wrote evil for the sake of evil is fine, but the caption saying that he was literally an evil baby is just like, come on.
Yeah, you're doing too much.
Yeah. So what else?
Why even give you a backstory at that point?
Yeah, I'm evil. Yep. I could have determined that. So when I was talking about All For One, talking about the hand, he's holding the hand of his brother who he had just blown up with.
Yeah.
And All For One determines that there's no meta ability left in his brother. Yeah. But how does he know that? Quirks disappear. Don't quirks disappear when you die? And yeah,
they have to, because all of the ones inside of him disappeared once he was.
And it wouldn't be so bad if he came if the conclusion that he came to didn't inform it's transferring all throughout the ages. So he's just looking at the hands going, oh, the quirk that I gave my brother isn't here. The quirk should always be gone because dead bodies don't hold the quirks. But
I do really like the flip of the comic book where he thought, hey, I'm going to show my brother this comic and maybe he'll recognize him. And it's just like, well, the good one was the Demon King.
No, you misread this, brother.
All right, here we go. Thanks.
So, the second user, once he gets the quirk, he goes off to the third user, and they're in this broken down hospital, and the third user just like, oh yo, you got 2 quirks inside of you.
Yeah, I don't know what happened there. You have yours and another one.
He's just typing it.
Dermot, useless quirk.
He's typing it on a computer, but later in the future, they have to determine if you have a quirk by your pinky toe being a certain length. I guess we just lost that technology. Cross space and time to thwart me. The warp point that I gave. All for one has to do is spam wind, lasers, spikes, anything to tire him out.
He had Hawks' quirk at that point. Throw some feathers at the mother.
In the Mind Palace, the Mind Hawks goes, all those negative emotions have got you in a tailspin, and you're losing control of your quirks. What does that mean? They aren't rebelling. They're just standing there.
But he's losing control of them.
Thank you for telling us these things. When All for One steals a quirk, does a mini version of the person or the quirk get a chance to run away from the giant hand like what they did when Danger Sense was taken? So do they get a chance to escape? Because only one person was taken in that instance. And I guess he just couldn't stand there and grab the other ones.
Yeah.
When it's so stupid. When Danger Sense is stolen, his chair disappears as well. It's like, why?
Even his chair is gone.
What?
If he got it back, would his chair reappear?
Cotton Candy Hope says, "In the mind place is a wild way to start a sentence."
In the mind, yeah. What's the problem? One of the vestiges goes, next time he could grab all of us. Why didn't he hear? All Danger Sense did was push them a little bit. And one person pushed 6 other people out of the way such that they all moved.
Yeah, he got the Danger Sense.
But how did he move them all?
Because he had the Danger Sense before it came, so he pushed them out the way.
Black Whip on the muscles, not established. Why didn't he do this with the first time that he did Gear Shift in order to do a bigger punch? Whatever. If he can Black Whip under his skin, can he make if he was going to get stabbed, can he make a layer of Black Whip?
Yeah,
material?
like an armor. Like Kevlar under the skin.
All for One, when he takes over Shiggy's body, just goes, decay is gone. Why? It was established that he could not destroy quirks when he tried to destroy Stars and Stripes quirk. He had to give it away. Why is decay gone? I will never comprehend the resolution to a manga that started in another manga. I don't like Deku referring to All Might as the 8th. That really bothered me. When he was punching Shigaraki or All for One, he goes, this punch packs a bigger punch than the 8th. I hated that.
It would have been great if it was All for One he said that for, because it would then make sense. But Shigaraki, All Might.
They hit us with the Demon Slayer last second. I just wanted to hold your hand, brother.
Hi Zaldonic
really
says, if he can do that, can he put the Black Whip under the skin of others? And make a fatality on them?
I have no idea.
Can he?
I would assume so.
Bakugo's parents were there with the doctor. They're telling him the prognosis of you might not be able to be a hero. You might need
that arm might be cooked.
They just watched their son kill basically a centuries-old Hitler man. And they say one single line. And it's just Bakugo's name. These are not characters.
Who is a character outside of 9 characters?
They let Deku meet with spinners, no handcuffs, no...
Put his whole hands around him.
Nothing.
Have no mood. No mood out.
No hero there to protect him. Nothing.
Yeah, he better not rampage or we're cooked.
How is he going to write a book if he doesn't know what happened to the others?
Deku will tell him.
Deku's gone. Deku doesn't know. The end of the Toga fight was poignantly said. It was not recorded.
Yeah. Only person that could be asked is Uraraka in that case. Maybe it's just the upbringing. There's no war part. Y'all can watch.
Did we need a resolution to overhaul him, the boss?
Dude, the craziest thing in the world. Just like, oh, it's better than Eri talking to him, but why should anybody talk to him? Get him out of here!
That kid, the spiky kid, was locked in a basement for years. There was no records of him disappearing, no police investigation, no schools, no nothing.
Nope.
And the last thing is, why is Bakugo not higher in the rankings based on the fact that everybody saw him not only save All Might, but essentially kill a centuries-old threat that factually on TV All Might could not beat, but Bakugo did, and it was on camera. Why is he not higher based purely on that?
Because he's abrasive.
Endeavor was abrasive, and he was number 2.
Yeah, but he's not number 1. Todoroki is also strong, and he stopped Dabi, and he's nice. He speaks to the fans.
But it was quite clearly stated that they're catching up to Mount Lady and Kamui Woods, which means that they are not higher than him. So there are people higher than them when Endeavor was number 2.
8 years later.
Endeavor was as high as he was, not doing as much as Bakugo did.
I'll tell you potentially why. Because there's not enough battles going on. So Kamui Woods can do a lot of support stuff. Mount Lady can do a lot of support stuff.
Why are there still rankings then?
Still gotta.
That's it.
3 hours.
My hero is dead.
For at least a year. Or roughly a year, because then we got to do the whole thing.
I wonder how that's going to go. I really do.
Yeah. There's going to be a lot of praise, especially during that gentle
Potentially.
stuff. That gentle stuff is going to get praise.
But like I said,
I'm going to blow that shit.
I thought the beginning part was a lot stronger than it was coming back to it.
How much of the beginning part did you?
Just whatever we had to read for that. So it was up to the class president. And then up until the end of the Shiggy's introduction. Hawks just did an opera move.
You can be on the ranking. You could be a hero. Right?
Everybody gets a hero. It's like
Oprah move.
Oprah. What does it matter then?
I love My Hero so much at the beginning.
I did, but I wonder if I did.
You did, but you wonder if it was misplaced at this point. Deku did not become the number 1 hero. It's so bush.
It is.
Bakugo beat up all the villains. The clap is strong. All right, get us out of here. We're doing Phil tomorrow.
Phil DSP tomorrow.
Because there is no stream next week.
I am going to be out of town.
We should be more consistent with Revisiteds because I have a dedicated work from home day from now on for my job. So regular episodes won't be as contingent on me just having to work late at a place and not being able to get home in time before this kid needs to go to bed. Because our hours are so roughly different from each other. This kid's waking up at 6. And I'm
6. I'm leaving at 6.
This month leaving at 6. I'm not even.
No, I gotta be there at 6.
So he's leaving at like 5:30. I'm not even up until 8:40.
Yeah. Final thoughts. My hero's a 3.
I'll say 4. Depending on the reread, I'll start at 6. I think it's above average. That final arc really brings it down heavy. The final like 3 arcs actually really bring it down heavy. But that beginning was uber strong. But maybe on a reread, it will go down to that 3, 4 I said before.
So, volumes have a set number of pages that they have to be for obvious reasons. Yeah. Somebody calculated it, and the final volumes of what was put out, there's like 60 pages being missing. So we could get more in terms of what he wanted to actually do, and he can do it in a couple months where he's more rested up. Yeah. But I'll say this, I was zooming through and I'm just like, why am I reading this so fast? And then I forgot about those 10-page chapters and the 8-page chapters.
I saw like 12 and I was like,
oh my goodness.
It was during that All Might fight. I was like, whoa.
Crumbling apart.
All right. Yeah, he's leaving at 6 in the morning. Which is worse overall.
I gotta be there. At 6.
Oh yeah. Which is worse overall?
But I
My
wake
Hero
up
Academia
at like 4:30.
or Demon Slayer?
Demon Slayer. Demon Slayer has a lot less good in it.
Yes. And I think My Hero Academia has a lot bigger bads. But Demon Slayer just, it's average and bad as opposed to My Hero Academia, which was good and bad.
And it always sucks when you care more about the thing. That
Yeah.
makes it hurt more when stuff sucks. But it makes it better when things are good, like the gentle stuff.
The gentle stuff.
The
so
gentle
good.
stuff is pure money. But then you just got Tape Guy and Tail Guy and Sugar
Bakugo.
Rush punching all for one. Stuff like that.
Oh, stream tomorrow for Chris to chill. What time? Around what time, Chris? So they know. I don't know. I feel even the most average series has more than Demon Slayer because freaking Demon Slayer. But what I mean is, Demon Slayer has always been like this and this, whereas My Hero was like this and then this, and that's the problem.
Yeah, lot to talk about with DSP. There we go. I was gonna say that. 24 is a bit long because it's DSP stuff.
They deserve it
I understand, but
because we're leaving soon anyway, so this is worthless.
Chris the Chilled says, stream at 4 p.m. Est.
There you go. Oh, that's right around the time we're ending too. Perfect.
potentially. At the end of the day, people care more about punching in a battle, Sean, which is unfortunate because we need reasons to care about the punching, not just simply the punching.
And
These are not.
Oh, go ahead.
These are not avatars that are just spawned into this world. There's a reason why Toga is trying to stamp Uraraka.
And focus too much on the characters, and it's called filler. And that's what happens with the festival, the music festival, where people are just like, I don't like this art because it feels like filler because the plot's not progressing, and because the plot's not progressing, it feels like a standstill to them. Even though we're getting all this characterization, even though we're getting all this focus on just people, this small stake stuff. Oh no!
What?
Unbelievable. All right, we're out of here. We don't need to be getting screenshotted here. We're out of here.
What is that? That's a sticker. That's what that is.
So, oh, that's terrible. All right, we're out of here. Enjoy the rest of y'all Saturday. See anybody that's gonna be.
Man.
See anybody that's gonna be here.
I don't think I asked, but what was the worst part of the arc for you?
Worst part of the arc. It might honestly be. It might honestly be Bakugo chasing down in All for One.
Yeah, I even Pigman aside, obvious reasons, that is not a singular moment that I think is worse than Bakugo getting up and fighting all that time and then coming in later miles and miles away to save Deku. The whole Bakugo revival is so bad.
Then again, that Sero thing was crazy bars. Him just grabbing the devil with your tape. It was Mirio showing cheeks to Shiggy for me.
And see, I am fine with that. I am one of the people that are fine with that because in the situation,
part of this character, he has no idea.
Part of his character. He goes, Shigaraki goes, I can't hit you, so I'm not even going to pay attention to you. So he has nothing to do to make him pay attention to him. He is a character that just like smiles on the faces and stuff. There's not. I equate this to the distraction from Guardians of the Galaxy.
Yeah,
where it's just like I got nothing,
but I'ma just dance.
But here's what I got, and that 1 second saved it. So I am 100% fine with it.
Okay. And we are out of here. Enjoy your Saturday. We're here tomorrow for DSP.
Hopefully a voice holds out.
Again. Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Pigman bush
Yeah. If nothing else, we'll just make it our Wednesday instead of
we can
recording.
do it tomorrow.
We'll see. We'll see. We will see.